say it, do tell me your brain cells off a few, and that is why I hate you.
Hey everybody, welcome to our podcast.
And that is why I hate you.
So anyway, I was reading, the podcast comes from iPod, right? Is that what, I believe that's where it came from.
Yeah, I think it originally came from.
Which is fucking irritating because iPods aren't even a thing anymore. We still call it a podcast, and I don't know why that bothers me so much.
Nah,
it shouldn't bother me.
Well, it's you know, sort of like with those things that spread out. Because remember, all phones were called iPhones for a long time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because did Apple create the first iPhone?
Yes.
Or,
Back.
Did Apple create the first iPhone? That's not what I meant. Did Apple create
I was I didn't know how else to say that. I felt disappointed.
My brain's
so I was
slow
just like, yes.
Apple created the first smartphone. Was the iPhone the first smartphone?
That I don't know.
I can't recall. I can't go that far back. I feel like it was.
I guess like one of those computer phones technically was for.
Well, I remember. Okay, we had Blackberries forever, right? And those were kind of like smartphones.
Nokias have been around forever.
But Nokias weren't like super really smartphones.
Yeah,
and
but
Blackberries
what was
weren't
the indicator
either.
of a smartphone? Like when it became a calculator?
I guess when I think of smartphone, I think of
computer.
A hand computer, yeah. And Blackberries were close to that, but they were very limited in what they could do, so they weren't quite.
But Blackberries like lasted for fucking ever.
They did, but I remember having a Blackberry, and I just was like, "Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do that." And the first Android was the Droid phone.
Mm.
You know, I remember those Droid.
Yo, God, that sound.
Yeah.
I had a Razor.
Yeah, there you go. So those, I don't know which came first. I guess it doesn't really matter. Fucking smartphone is destroying our world.
You know what's really
and
funny?
making it better at the same time.
I get old. I get like boomer syndrome sometimes. Because when I think of like Blackberries, go, man, that is way too complicated for me. I just don't get it. I'm sitting here playing on my Note whatever the number is right now, or S whatever.
Creating miniatures in your browser on your phone.
But I'm just like, I think about it, I'm like, click, that just looks it's too busy. I can't do it.
It is. I had a Blackberry for work because they gave them out to our jobs, and they weren't like the top of the line Blackberries for the time.
Okay.
But I just remember it being really limited. Like I could text and like you could kind of use the internet, but not really. And they had a very, very limited number of games. So I think it was closed source. So it was like only, not even games, apps. It was only like BlackBerry's first party apps that you could use. There were no...
Back in the day when they were called applications.
Applications. Yeah. And then I had one of those touchscreen BlackBerries because I remember getting that thinking it was going to be fancy maybe the iPhone was out at that point. And then it was the same thing. It was just for the touchscreen.
Yep.
It was the same limitations. And I was just like, oh.
Speaking of computers and limitations, though, so there was an app for ChatGPT. I've been finally got to play with a free version of ChatGPT.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And on my way here, I had it write something for me that I want to announce.
Okay, go for it.
Because I have too much fun. I said, write me a short dialogue between two friends having a discussion. I'm sorry. Write me a short natural dialogue. Having a discussion about the nature of sugar addiction. So ChatGPT says, certainly. Friend 1, hey, have you thought about sugar addiction? The first thing, not natural at all.
I mean,
I know. I think it's so great.
It's definitely not even 100% natural. That would not organically be the way the conversation would start.
Yeah. I've been reading about it lately. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. People say it's as addictive as some drugs. What do you think?
So this sounds more like a PSA commercial than anything else.
The ending killed me.
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
I believe it. I mean, I can't resist sugary treats sometimes.
That's what I always call them.
But is it really an addiction like smoking or drinking? Well, it might not be exactly the same, but it can lead to similar cravings and withdrawal symptoms in some people. True, it is everywhere. It's in almost everything we eat. Yeah, it's tough to avoid. Moderation is key. I guess Moderation is key, I guess. Have you tried cutting back on sugar? Yeah, I've tried, but it's not easy. It's in my morning coffee, snacks, and even savory foods.
Oh, those savory foods.
It's a challenge for sure. Maybe we should support each other and try to reduce our sugar intake together. That's a great idea. We'll beat this sugar addiction together.
That is one of the... Okay, so there's a very common thing going around right now about ChatGPT that it is getting dumber. In fact, I had a conversation the other night with my friend about how ChatGPT is getting dumber. And it is 100% accurate based on that particular anecdote there. He asked... I was actually talking to him just more about this last night. He's in a similar line of work. I mean, he's been using ChatGPT to accomplish work tasks, like, regularly.
Okay.
And he was telling me he's, like, integrated with his daily routine now with work. Just everything. But he was telling me that he asked it to... I forget the exact parameters, but something along the lines of take this spreadsheet or database or something and then repurpose it with tables and blah, blah, blah. Like, basically repurposing a spreadsheet. And he said what it gave him was, it was like, here, it would give like the first few lines of the tables, and then it would go, and so on, and then the next set of data, and so on. And so, he was like, this fucking thing, it just truncates it and says, and so on at the end of each set of data. And I was like, yeah, it's definitely getting dumber. It's definitely getting dumber. I actually, for just out of nowhere last night, I was trying to decide if I should let my daughter watch the Barbie movie. I was like, let me ask ChatGPT if it's appropriate for kids. And it kept reminding me that it doesn't have data previous to 2021, which I thought with the new version they had opened it up to internet access so that it actually could give you more information. And it was still, I tried GPT-4 and it was still saying that. So I asked Bard instead, and Bard gave me a summary. I have two places I want to go with that, though. I want to talk about, I actually have been trying to diet.
Okay.
But I also wanted to talk about... Okay, first let me get into... I got to bring this up. I think I've talked about it. I've been going through all the Law and Order episodes from number 1. So I'm actually now in season 22, which is the newest season that just aired last TV season. Which was the second season after they brought it back, after a 10-year hiatus.
Yeah.
So I watched it the other day, and... they had this episode, it was, I forget, I think it was called Second Chance. It was one of the episodes of season 22. And the episode was this white like college-age kid beat to death this black dude. And like viciously beat him to death. And it started off where, this all leads up to my big gripe with the episode, but it started off where they're like, oh, okay, he was an ex-con, the guy that he beat to death. And he was in jail for 4 years for marijuana possession. They're like, wow, 4 years for marijuana. Oh, times have changed because now it's legal. And then at one point they were chasing, as is every fucking episode, the first person that they suspect the two detectives go to find, and he runs away. No,
he runs.
He runs.
Oh, okay.
And he's never the suspect. He never the actual perpetrator, but he always runs away. So the two guys have chased him, and then they tackle him, and they're like, why'd you run? And he's like, oh, I had some weed on me. And the one detective, who, by the way, it's the guy from Burn Notice. You know, the main character in Burn Notice. You know that guy?
Yo,
he has the dumbest face of any actor I've ever seen. Every time they show him, he's just got this, like,
I think
that
actor played a lot of characters who seemed like they were dumb, though.
I guess, but he's supposed to be a detective. He's not supposed to be. He's a detective.
Yeah.
He's one of the lead detectives now. And he's just got the dumbest fucking face.
I think he has one of those, what some call a punchable face.
It's punchable too, but he looks stupid.
I don't think he looks dumb, but I get it. And there is
Maybe
an actor,
the faces?
but there is an actor. Actually, I think there's two actors that have similar faces that play dumb characters, especially in the 90s. I can't think of the actor.
This guy, every scene, I don't know if it's just the way they're
talking about this guy. This guy. He's
yes,
the main guy. Yeah.
Yes, he's just so much younger in that photo. Wow, he got older.
Burn Notice.
Yeah, but it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
But he's just got the dumbest face. Anyway, but he tags him. The guy's like, oh, I had some weed on me, and then the detective's like, well, there's no reason to run for that now, bro. that's nothing we're gonna do about
They
that.
really just like pushing it.
Yeah, they're really pushing it,
really
and then
hard.
they go to a dispensary at one point, and they're talking about how strong the products are. Anyway,
Because here's another actor who has a similar face.
oh yeah, that guy too.
He plays
yeah.
a lot of dumb characters.
He always plays redneck characters. Yes,
Yeah.
he's in everything too. He was in The Shield, I think, and
Yeah.
some other stuff. Anyway, Jeffrey Donovan's the guy I'm talking about. The guy you were just talking about was
Yeah, it
Walter
was
Goggins.
Wilton Goggins. Yeah.
If for people who are
Walton.
listening, Walton. Oh,
Walton.
Walton Goggins. Jeffrey Donovan, though. Oh my god, he just looks so dumb every scene. But anyway, the trial ends up being they find this white kid that does it, and they charge him, and then it ends up the defense is he was temporarily insane because he smoked some really strong weed, and it made him have a psychotic break, and that was their defense. So
That's called laced weed. If you have a psychotic break.
either way. No, but this wasn't laced because he bought it. His friend who had a medical marijuana card bought it at the dispensary, and then this underage kid borrowed it from his friend, or he took it from his friend to smoke it or vape it or whatever the fuck it was. So I thought it was another one of these Law and Order episodes with a cockamamie defense because they do that. It's like a trope of Law and Order. They come up with some crazy defense, and then the whole episode is them trying to like, what? That doesn't make any sense, and they have to try to prove their crazy fucking defense in court. Yeah. And I was like, oh, here we go, another cockamamie defense. What a stupid idea. And it turns out that's not where the episode went. The episode went, everybody agreed that this was a legitimate defense. The main prosecutor, the DA, the doctor, their own doctor, like the police doctor, was like, yeah, this is certainly possible, and I really believe this is what happened.
It's certainly possible.
Yes, and there's the one DA, the second chair DA, the woman, I forget her, Sam. She's like, this doesn't make any sense. This is bullshit. We should be he beat a man to death. This is ridiculous. And everybody's
a weed debate.
Yeah, everybody's trying to talk her into like, why are we trying to ruin this kid's life? He just smokes really bad weed, which is a whole nother thing. And then I'm like, okay, well, at least this one character's like, what's going on? But they made her out like she's crazy,
was the bad one,
like she's this crazy angry woman. And then it was just she saw a correlation between the man who killed her sister and this kid, and that's why she was going so hard on him. But I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute.
So you mean to tell me it's a perfect reflection of how our justice system actually works?
To a degree.
Where the media is just like, everybody's going crazy, people who are addicted to Twitter are fucking going nuts and just completely missing the point of what really is going on.
Yes. But basically the end of the episode was, yeah, we're just going to plead him out to a lesser charge because he didn't mean to do it. He just smoked some bad weed. Forget about the fact that he was underage. Forget about the fact that he knew he wasn't supposed to smoke this weed that was for his friend. That he did all these things. And I'm just like trying to think of the parallels. Like, but if you get really drunk and then drive a car and kill somebody, everybody you're going to be demonized.
What about the little boy who went to grown-up jail? What was he, like 12? Went to grown-up jail for pulling a wrestling move on his friend because they were roughhousing and killed her.
Jesus Christ.
And he is, well, I don't know what's happened to him now, but he went to grown-up jail. Where he surely got his butthole
he fucking DDT'd her to death?
I think he did the cane choke slam.
He killed her with a choke slam?
I think it was a choke slam or something like that.
That's
but he was a fat kid,
right? Who
was 12,
and
he did a wrestling move, something during the Attitude Era, to a girl.
Sure.
Get it? Yeah, that's something that happened now to something that happened then. But what has really changed? Like literally, I know that's fictional, but we still argue about the kid who, and he's not underage, I don't think, who drove states over to anti-protest and then shot 3 people.
Oh, Rittenhouse, yeah.
Kyle Rittenhouse. Like, we still argue that to the point that he's a low-end celebrity now.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
So let's be real here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to get into those
that level of ridiculousness is not far-fetched.
I guess you're right. It was just so. Are we really doing a Reefer Madness episode of Law and Order in 2022?
Yes, because that show should have died. It has the same problem with Family Guy.
No, fuck
it's the same problem with Family Guy.
Law and Order should not have died. Although I will certainly stipulate to the fact that the new seasons are fucking terrible. Well, I thought the last couple seasons of the original run, like seasons 19, 20, were not great.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was in for when I started season 21 and 22 10 years later when they restarted. They're like filmed like soap operas. The actors are the like soap opera level actors. The fucking filming, they like are. It seems more like I'm watching like Grey's Anatomy or something than the old police. I can't believe how bad they are now, and they're so wooden. Did I already talk about this?
I mean, obviously now with the writer's strike, which has been going on for a really long time now,
Right, yeah.
I can only imagine what like it looks like in the writer's room.
Well, this was before the writer's strike. I mean, these seasons.
These seasons? Oh,
yeah, this was last season. So I think right now, like, they haven't even announced premiere dates for the new season because of the writer's strike. But the acting, like, they go to question the suspect. And did I already talk about this on the podcast? Maybe not.
I don't know.
But they're like,
I remember.
Where were you yesterday? I was at home in bed. Did you see anybody else? No, I was alone. Why do you think this might have happened? Like, that's the question, the way it sounds.
Like his Mass Effect dialogue?
Yeah, it's really bad. That's exactly what I compared it to. I was like, I feel like I'm watching a cutscene in a video game where it's just like text dialogue, like really crappy text dialogue between the characters, and it just doesn't feel, it's so wooden and doesn't feel natural. Oh, it's so bad. Anyway, I was.
Although now that you mention that, I would like a Mass Effect style game, but it's Law and Order. Like it just makes sense.
It just irritates me because it's not a police procedural in these new seasons. It's a drama. Like it seems like it's just a regular drama now, not a police procedural, which is. It just doesn't feel like Law and Order now, even though it's.
It's never been the same since Ice-T left.
No,
I don't know if he left.
He's still on SVU.
He's not doing any. I'm about to say he's not doing anything else.
No, he's just. Yeah, come on.
He's hanging out with Coco. Like he ain't doing anything else.
Coco's gonna be on the next episode of Law and Order.
He still gets the best lines.
She got raped. We gotta help her.
That means he's gay. That's still my favorite line.
That means he's gay.
I just love
the down low episode. We talked about
every time that scene shows up online.
Is it racist for me to do an Ice-T accent?
No, because you're doing an Ice-T impersonation. I had not a black impersonation.
Dude, it's funny because I had this conversation with my daughter last night because she asked me. I was doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice for no reason. I was playing Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
And I was trying to find the dragon. I was like, "Where's the dragon?
Where are you? Come out here. We need to talk.
Come out, dragon. I need to find you." And I was like, "I'm gonna do this until I find the dragon." And then she was like, can you do a Japanese accent?" I was like, "No." And she was like, "Why not?" I was like, "Well, there are certain accents, if you do them, you're considered racist." And she's like, "What kind of accent were you just doing?" And I was like, "That's an Arnold Schwarzenegger accent."
That's one of the white racists. Like, nobody cares.
I was like, I was doing a voice of a character, of a person. I wasn't doing a race voice.
That's the thing. Like, people don't. They're just like, well, if he's black and you're doing an impersonation of him, then you're a racist. Like, no. What about black people who have very specific voices?
That's Ice-T.
Like, there's a guy, Otis Jirey. He's a voice actor online.
Okay.
Really cool man, from what I know. And they used to call him the white Morgan Freeman because that's what his voice sounds like.
Oh, okay.
Now, he can't help it. But now if I do a Morgan Freeman impersonation, am I impersonating Morgan Freeman or am I impersonating this white guy who sounds like Morgan Freeman?
You know what's really funny?
So just shut the fuck up about
it. It is really funny in general that it's okay to impersonate a specific person of a specific race, but you can't impersonate the race. Even if that person's voice is very
close to the
race. Yeah.
There was one voice actor who played like every black guy in every cartoon when we were growing up. It was just like he was always the big tough black guy in everything, and he was a bald black guy with a mustache or with a flat top and a mustache, but always had a mustache. He kind of always looked like Jax from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, there you
just
go.
Like how he always looked. But he was in G.I. Joe. He was in like every UPN cartoon. Savage Dragon. It was just that character was always there.
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
But it was a voice actor. He just played everybody.
Wasn't the guy from Gargoyles?
Oh no, dude, that's Keith David. And I'm sure that black guy was also in Gargoyles, but Keith David was, because he was Goliath and
you know your voice
Spawn.
actors very well. You really do.
He played Spawn most notably. Like, he is definitively the voice of Spawn.
Okay, got it.
But Keith David is kind of one of those guys, but he broke out way before then. But I don't know the guy's name, but he also showed up in Family Guy as the principal. No, not Family Guy, American Dad.
Okay.
As the principal. And he's like, "What's come, bitches?" That's what I know him as, like, saying all the time. But he did, like, every black voice. And then there's Phil LaMarr, who broke out finally from doing every black voice.
Was he a black guy, though?
Phil LaMarr.
Not Phil LaMarr. I know
the
Phil
other guy's
LaMarr.
black, yes.
Okay, all right.
But Phil LaMarr, another black guy, nobody questions. He played a lot of people. He's not Rastafarian, from what I know.
Sure.
And he played, what's his name in Futurama? I can't think of his name.
Oh my god, I can't think
Jamaican
of his name
guy.
either. Yeah, what the fuck is his name?
Can't think of the character's name. I just know he had a son, and I know he...
I've seen 150 Futurama
Same here! I can't think of
name
his name right now. Somebody will correct us. You're gonna look it up, aren't you?
Yeah, I have to. It's gonna bother me. So keep talking while I'm looking it up.
But Phil LaMarr, also being as prolific as he is as a voice actor, was the voice of Samurai Jack, who is Japanese.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
I don't know. It's really weird the way, and that's another thing. Like, we don't necessarily have a problem with a black guy doing the voice of a Japanese guy, but if it was a white guy, we'd have Hermes. There we go.
Hermes Conrad.
We'd have a
Conrad
problem.
Hermes. I think it's Conrad Hermes.
It says Hermes Conrad.
Hermes Conrad. Okay.
Either, but they call them Hermes usually.
But he was also
did his wife call him Conrad? No,
I think his first name's Conrad.
All right, well,
but regardless,
he
also Phil LaMarr played the voice of the Anchorman in Family Guy. Phil LaMarr is just everywhere, but he played a Japanese guy.
Wait, the Anchorman was a mustache?
Yeah, no, it's gonna rain.
That guy. Yeah, okay, right.
But Cleveland, who was voiced by a white guy,
and then got essentially canceled for that, right?
He stepped down because he was like, it's offensive. I'm like, shut the fuck up. First of all, you played Cleveland for years. The joke of Cleveland is that he's supposed to be just like the most plain person among these weirdo freaks. And even in his own show, when he tried to just basically be Peter Griffin, because he has no real personality of his own, because the character joke for his personalities, he has no personality.
Yes, yeah.
That's the joke of Cleveland. Because he is the anti-version of, oh, we need a character here. Oh, we have a black guy. Cool, what's he going to be like? He's the black guy. He has something already.
Yeah.
Like, that was an actual thought process when character creating.
It's true. No, you're right.
So, like, are you fucking serious with this? Like, it's stupid. It's not like he's being offensive. It's not like, he wasn't. He was playing a character. And the character happened to be black. I don't have any problem with that. I don't think anyone should have a problem with that.
Yeah, especially in voice acting.
In voice acting.
It's just, whatever.
Now, and Always Sunny had a really good episode about that. That's been canceled. The Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon 5 or 4? I think
they did like 3 of them.
They did three episodes of it. And each one got canceled.
They did 5, 6, and 7, I think.
Yeah, but like, was it okay to do a black voice but not do blackface? But is it okay to do blackface and not do the black voice? Which Mac did both.
Yes.
But he was being, in his mind, what the character was, not racist. Just like the German chick who loves Michonne and dressed up as Michonne.
Well, it's also for the sake of humor, It's,
yeah, but
it's
that was for the
supposed to
sake
be
of
funny.
humor. And it wasn't to be... The being offensive was the joke, but not the idea behind the joke.
With comedy and humor, they always talk about the willing suspension of disbelief in movies and stuff. I think sometimes you have to have like a willing suspension of being offended. Sometimes you just gotta this is supposed to be funny. I gotta just kind of let it go and just laugh at whatever dumb shit they do.
Why do we not call out these stupid fucking people? Like they're online, they're doing these things, but call out the same people the same way you do when they go to a comedy club just to sulk and be angry. You went to a fucking comedy club. They tell you who the headliner is.
Some comedians do. They'll call them out and be like, where do you think you are?
Why the fuck you come here?
Yeah, you came here
and you're just gonna
knowing
be a
what the
bitch?
situation... Yeah.
And I feel that same way to most of these people who want to do that. So, in the words of the great Jordan Peterson... Fuck you, woke moralist. I'm working on my Jordan Peterson. I gotta add a little bit more Kermit into it.
Hey, fuck you,
woke moralist. I love how people are taking the piss out of that guy for that. He's such a piece of shit. I saw a documentary on him this morning. It was great.
Oh, I'll have to watch that.
Good.
I always like a good documentary. I watched a documentary on Tim Pool the other day.
I saw one. I didn't.
It was the reason I listened to it is because I'm such a glutton for punishment. I hadn't listened to him in a while since that he had those 2 Red Pill guys on.
Oh, yeah.
And I had nothing to listen to the other day, so I was listening to one of his newest episodes, and it was supposed to be about Gamergate. And that's
why are we bringing that back?
I don't know, but that's why I put it on. I was like, all right, I'll listen to these people talk about Gamergate. And it was two, I don't know who they were, but it was two people who apparently were pretty in deep with Gamergate.
So people who have no other aspirations.
Sure, it was some woman who was on that side, and then the guy that ran the subreddit was on the other side.
Was it a British guy?
The other guy?
Yeah.
I don't know because he literally did not talk the whole episode. I'm not kidding. It was like 4 hours and he did not say a word. Maybe partially because they didn't talk about Gamergate.
Okay.
She just came on and, attacked Tim Pool the whole time and, said he was contributing to America's downfall by creating separation between people and creating inflammatory views.
That's not trying to defend Tim Pool here, but that's why you got your voice out there on his show.
Well, I mean, he kind of was, his point was just like, and I'm not using the exact terminology she was using, but his whole point was just kind of like,
pardon me.
She's also on some show or something. He's like, we all are doing. I mean, if
you're all doing that.
If you're going to use that stance, then we're all doing the same thing. I mean, just by having these conversations, we're all contributing to discourse in the country.
Yeah.
In a negative way.
That's a major reason why Gamergate was a fucking shit show, because everybody thought like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it was just such a shit show. Nobody knows what Gamergate was fucking about. They could give like a little overview. Well, it's about gaming, journalism and ethics, and not attacking women.
Yeah.
What about all the other bullshit? Because that's an easy topic to fix.
Sure.
Journalists should be moral, and women shouldn't be attacked for just being women.
That's it.
That's very simple.
Conversation
over. I
over.
don't think most people would have a problem with that if they can trust their journalists and trust not putting a fist through women for just existing. You would think. But no, there was other bullshit happened. There was other gates that happened.
That was like 10 years ago and we still have these same issues.
We still have this because people don't know how to fucking let shit go. The fact that... I'm sorry. That was the reason why I asked if the other guy was British, because one of the head guys was this piece of shit named Sargon of Akkad.
No, it wasn't that guy. Okay. I know who you're talking about, though. Sargon
wants to bring that shit back and thought he could put it into politics even further. I'm like, you're sad.
Yeah.
Just go off into your corner and continue eating ass.
It's over.
Shut the fuck up. Your spot. Why all you assholes are trying to jump into the spotlight? The spotlight is temporary. The motherfucker is overheating. The lighting bill is way too goddamn high. Let's just turn off the spotlight for a while and just sit in the dark a little while.
So, I mean, at least that was good. They didn't talk about it at all.
Yeah, I guess.
The guy, I can't remember his name, but he introduced himself at the beginning for about 30 seconds and then did not say a word the entire thing. But I watched...
I gotta look it up because I really feel like I know who it is.
She was shitting on this dude. She was shitting on... Not this dude. She was shitting on Tim Pool and said something about, like, I think you need to watch this fence sitter video on YouTube about you. And I'm pretty sure that, based on what I was listening to, that's all she must have watched. She didn't know anything else about him or the show. But I ended up going to watch it, and it was just pointing out that he is such a grifter because he'll talk about the topic and literally just play both sides of the story. Be like, oh, Donald Trump won this election. He won this election. He's gonna win it. He's gonna win in court, or maybe not. We'll see. Have to see what happens. Like literally, like go back and forth like that.
That's not fence sitting. That's playing both sides.
Yes, it is.
That's fence sitting is kind of like having a neutral stance and just going. Oh, okay, I can see your point.
You're right.
Oh, okay, I can see your point. But not feeding into either side. That's what fence sitting is.
You're absolutely right. He does not have a neutral point of view. He is literally he's just playing both sides and saying, yeah, Donald Trump's going to be able to overturn this election in the courts. I guarantee it. And then, like, literally 2 minutes later in the same breath, yeah, I mean, or not, it's really possible he won't be able to do that. So he's literally just trying to appeal to both groups.
Yeah, that's what he wants people to show up on his platform.
Sure. Yeah.
He's quite literally just grifting. That's all he does.
He 100% does, yes.
Fine, do whatever.
Yeah, that's fine if
my
that's
thing
what
is,
you want to do.
The blame, I don't care for Tim Pool, but I don't put the blame on him. I put it on people who take him seriously.
Yeah, that's the bigger problem.
That's exactly it.
Well, this woman is a perfect example. She came on thinking, like, I'm going to go and I'm just going to shit on him for everything I can, take him very seriously as a journalist instead of just taking it for what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, that's the only reason I watched that. Yeah, I like watching documentaries on shitty personalities.
Good. I'll show it to you.
I like when those same people talk about or act like they're like these important public figures in political discourse. I'm just like, no, you're not. You're not.
Yeah.
You're just some asshole with a microphone.
You brought up Jordan Peterson before.
Yeah.
Hi, guy.
You're again, Ben Shapiro, all these guys. You're just some asshole with a microphone. You're not doing anything to
You're not
change.
changing the world.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro is just a failed scriptwriter. That's all he is.
You're not doing anything to change anything. You're just on a microphone, just saying a bunch of bullshit to make money. That's it.
Like, at least be honest about it. We can say it all day that that's what we are.
Oh, yeah. We don't know what we're talking about. We will have no meaningful impact on anything, anywhere, ever.
No.
We're just here just bullshitting, hoping maybe some funny shit comes out of it. And,
we're just friends talking.
That's literally
Guess what we're not doing? Thinking we're changing the fucking world. And I'm not going to try to grift to anything.
Oh, and I don't know shit about shit.
The one thing I will admit that I am stuck on is that if I have a belief, I'm going to be sincere about it. That's it. That's the one thing you could trust out of. At least I can feel we could trust out of this kind of show is that we do believe what we are saying.
Oh, absolutely. Whether or not we're correct or whether or not we're informed enough to make those beliefs come to fruition.
We're just sincere.
Yeah.
I think sincerity is way more important than people like give.
Oh, absolutely.
Give credit for
100%. And that's. I was just gonna start talking about something else, but I don't even want to get into that. But yeah, I've been trying to diet and.
I forgot that's where we came from.
No, that was the second thing I wanted to talk about. Yeah. I'm doing pretty decently. It's been like a week and a half, and I've actually kind of stuck to it. But I'm not like being a Nazi about it. I've just tried to cut out sugar as much as possible. So I'm drinking
genocide on the sugar, huh?
Back to the sugar. Sugar. That was the other reason.
Oh shit!
Came up, your little sugar conversation.
Oh my god!
That's why it made me think of this. Sugar is addictive. We should just read that script verbatim. We should have just.
I should have had you read line two.
ChatGPT could have just had this conversation for us. I wouldn't even have to bring it up. Yeah, I'm just trying to cut it out. Like not like a Nazi. Like, oh, this has sugar, I can't eat it. But like, okay, when I get a coffee or I'm drinking tea, get my coffee without any sugar in it. If I'm drinking tea, I'll put a little artificial sweetener or some honey or something in it. I'm trying not to eat. Every night, pretty much when we have dinner, whatever we're having, if it's chicken, if it's meat. I usually either put it over rice or noodles or pasta, just putting it over spinach or green beans. The other night my mom actually had in her garden a spaghetti squash she gave us. So my wife took that out, and she
that squash in her backyard looked really good though.
Oh, dude, it was great. She took that out, baked it, and literally. I had just casually mentioned it the day before. I was like, we should try spaghetti squash. I want to see how that tastes under it. Because, like, spinach and green beans for me aren't about the taste. It's the texture is weird to me.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that the texture is weird. It's just getting used to it. Because I'm used to eating noodles or something under it. So now I've got this, like, squishy, weird, kind of slimy texture instead. So, like, maybe spaghetti squash would. So, but she actually made sauce, like regular marinara sauce. And chicken parm and put that over the spaghetti squash. I was like, I just meant like next time you do the crock pot or something, we could throw that over.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was good.
I'm glad your wife's supportive of you losing weight like that.
Well, the funny thing is, that's what she's been doing for herself forever. She always puts things over spinach or something. Okay,
so I guess for her, the transition is just, it doesn't change her lifestyle. So.
Yeah, it was literally like, don't make anything extra.
Yeah.
Just make a little more of the spinach or whatever. And like I'm not gonna eat all the spinach or on the plate, maybe not, but I'll eat some of it while I'm eating the chicken, and if that's all I eat and I didn't eat the pasta, great. And then I'm just eating carrots as a snack at night instead of anything else. And I got plantains. Oh, dude, have you ever had plantains? Mm-hmm. I forgot how much I love plantains.
I actually like fried plantains.
They're so fucking good. I forgot how much I like them. So I'm trying. I lost a few pounds so far, so I'm gonna try to keep going.
I don't know if I mentioned on the podcast before, but I did the keto diet for a while. I was having a bet with friends.
Yeah.
And I lost a lot of weight, but
it's tough
within the first few weeks. But I, for the first time, experienced like being so hungry that I was mad because I don't say the other stupid word.
Well, that's what it does for you.
And I was furious at everything.
You don't want to say the stupid word.
Yeah.
You were so hungry, you were angry.
Yeah. I was enraged by my hunger, my appetite. just made me go into a berserk state. But no, I hated everything. And
But that's what that whole diet is.
I was just like, yeah, I'm
it's
good.
supposed to make your body think it's starving.
Yeah, I was like, yep, I'm not doing this. I
Yeah.
can't not. Like, I was just drinking black coffee in the morning.
I tried it and it was just too restrictive. That was the big problem. It was just like I had recipes I had looked up and things we were trying to make, and it was just so hard to. It was like you couldn't just use stuff you had in the house. You had to go get specific stuff to eat keto.
Yeah.
You couldn't just be like, all right, I'm just gonna make this change. But like I said, I'm not trying to be a Nazi or anything with it to myself. I'm just like, okay, well, maybe I had a little bit of sugar today, but I didn't have the 2 shovelfuls they were gonna put in the coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. You know, I didn't have. You know, maybe I had a little bit of carbs today, but I didn't have that full plate of pasta I was gonna have otherwise. So I don't know. I'm just trying to. It's not even to lose. I mean, I guess losing weight's not a thing I want to do, but it's more just I'm like, okay, well, I'm if my body's shitting the bed on me, at least I could just maybe try to eat a little healthier and see if that improves things. Because
I know I have to. I just don't have the self-control. Like the southern part of me that loves bread.
The self-control has been very hard.
It's so difficult.
You know, it sucks because we have kids, so you have to have shit food in the house that they like. They're gonna like cookies and crackers and cheese and stuff like that.
And it's just too easy.
It's too easy.
And my kids are so annoying when it comes to like dinner and I'm the main like food preparer.
Right.
So once I make their food, I don't want to make another thing.
Yeah, you don't want to have to make 2 dinners.
I already have a food service where, like, we get the ingredients and do that. And that's just for my wife and I.
Right.
And then the kids get noodles or whatever they want at night. So I'm already cooking 2 things.
Yep.
And possibly 3 if they don't want to eat the same thing and I just don't want to fight with them because I want them to go to bed so they can get up and go to school the next day. Like,
yeah.
So I just don't need any of that. And I'm just like, okay, so I want to eat healthy. Well, you're not bringing noodles because my wife's Italian. That's the major thing.
Happen.
I'm just like, well, fuck, because I don't want to eat it, but it's there, and I'm going to eat it. Hey, let's get a pizza.
Pasta's so good. It's so hard not to eat pasta.
So
I'm the same way. Like, pasta's my favorite thing in the world to eat.
And like, I've been experimenting, having fun. Like, when I make the ricotta, I put like garlic and onion in it, like chopped shallot.
You're making me hungry.
And I'm just like,
some nice shallot.
You saw how like when you make simply
flavor.
making burger, I have to flavor it. I play with things.
You make a goddamn good burger, and I've adopted your style now too.
Good.
I just fucking cover the thin shit, and it's good.
Yeah.
You think like it's gonna be over seasoned? It's not,
because garlic is again very powdery and it burns really quickly.
Sure. Yep.
The only thing you don't overdo is pepper and salt. That's literally the only thing I don't overdo because it's painful when you do.
Yeah, you're right. Salt, if you can tell when there's too much salt in something.
And I just don't like not sneezing, but coughing while I'm eating.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like put too much pepper, but it's just that, and you have to not overdo onion powder because onion powder can be a problem. But if you're not using it, don't have to worry about it. Garlic is easy enough.
Yeah, I mean, you took out. I had the garlic powder and I had the red salt, and you used those 2 together.
Yep.
And it was it's perfect, so good.
And they just burn really well.
And it's funny because my wife's been doing it too. When she's been cooking, she's like, I've just been seasoning the shit out of everything.
I did that to my wife.
Tastes good.
Yeah, I did that to my wife. I feel like I should just do that to every white person I know.
Yeah, we've had this conversation about white people not seasoning things properly several times already.
I should just start doing it, but I never pay attention to it. I make the joke, but I don't think about it.
Yeah.
But I did it to my wife. Our 2 mutual friends, they don't need that. They are flavor boys. Like, they just put they're mutants. They just put flavor on everything. But yeah, I just I think it's kind of funny that I'm like I need to lose weight. I'm like, I don't eat that much. But what I do
it's
is
the same with me.
Isn't
it annoying? Like, I don't eat that much. I really don't.
My thing is I don't realize I'm snacking.
That's a problem, yeah.
And what'll happen is I won't eat for a period of time because I can't eat if I'm stressed, and I've been super stressed, and stress also causes retention.
Sure.
Was it insulin? Like you have
I'll take your word for it.
Levels or something like that.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, so I'm not gonna contribute. But sure.
But I think when I had a dietitian, that was one of the things she said, because that attributes to my high blood pressure as well. But regardless, what happens is I'll binge. I'll get really like, I'll hit a stress level and get super sad,
Right.
and everything become food. And yeah, I said it like that on purpose.
No, I get it.
And
No,
I
get
just will eat all day, subconsciously just eating.
It's a boredom thing too, you know. You're bored,
Yeah,
you
when
start
you're bored.
eating at night. I can't sleep, so half the time I'm like, all right, well, I'm still awake. I'm
Bag
going
of chips,
upstairs, get something
watching
to eat.
something,
So like
playing
trying to
something.
suppress that
Yeah.
has been hard. That's why I got the plantains. It's like, okay, if I'm gonna get up and come down, I'll grab a few plantains and eat those.
Here's something
Better than, you know.
I'm super obsessed with, and it's the real fruit like ice pops.
Like
Fruitista, I think it's called.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
I'm addicted to the strawberry flavor. I will
try
just
those.
eat
Those
right
sound
through
good.
them. They
Yeah,
are
that sounds really
super good. You get like chunks of actual strawberry
Yeah.
in it, and I'm like, at least I feel less guilty.
Yeah.
That
It's fruit.
Yeah, like I feel less guilty. Natural sugars.
I was just gonna say that's I bought some dried mango too, which I haven't tried yet.
God.
That
That was my Filipino food.
But it was same thing. It's like, you know, it's sweet, but it's natural sugar, so it's at least it's not it's not some processed garbage. That's been my big thing, is just trying to cut out processed garbage,
Which is hard. It is super fucking
even the
hard.
sugar. I got raw sugar. I think we talked
yeah,
about. I got raw sugar
because I'm allergic to white sugar, so that's
Right.
why.
So
No
if-
offense to white sugar. I know
Fuck
a lot
white
of
sugar, damn cracker sugar. So I got raw sugar.
damn sweet crackers.
That show that I had on when you came in, which I just put up for background, that prison show. Like as soon as I turned it on, was this woman. She was just screaming about the white cracker cops. She was like, "Fuck you, crackers! Fucking crackers! I'm gonna kick your
love
ass."
how
this is funny.
whenever black people want to get like super racist with white people, we just go back to the 70s.
Yeah. It's not fair because you don't have a really good, terrible, awful, can't say it word to call us, you know? It's not
No. We just have history. We just have history in general.
Yeah, but you're acting, you're thinking as though you could shame some modern day white person with that history. You can't. They don't give a fuck.
You can't do that.
Look at the people out there. They're like, that wasn't me. That was thousands of years ago. Why are you mad at me? Fuck you. Rah!
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, well, it is hilarious. It's fucking great. Well, so I actually have an appointment with a nutritionist because the gastroenterologist told me I was too fat and I need to go see a nutritionist in a couple weeks. And then my neighbor's a big fitness dude. Like, he works out time. He's really into dieting and nutrition and eating well. So I was talking to him. Actually, I was talking to his wife about it. And she was like, yeah, I'm sure you should talk to him. I'm sure he'd give you some, tips. And I was chatting with him, and he said, yeah, we'll get, he said, so I hear you want to, well, it's three things. Cause I also said to her, he's a police officer. And I was like, I want him to teach me about guns. Like, I want to learn how guns work and like know about guns.
You point them, they go boom.
No,
like, I know.
I want to legitimately learn like how they work, how to put one together, how to clean it. Like, I want to know how to shoot properly.
Oh, you brought me back.
Part of me, it's partially conspiracy theorist because I'm just kind of like, the world's gonna get bad, and I feel like at some point I'm gonna need to know how to use a gun properly when people start getting really desperate, because it could happen in my lifetime.
I still have my rifle clip.
I've wanted to go shooting for forever, just because I've never done it before, and it's something I want to do. My wife doesn't think I should have a gun.
I don't want to own one, but I definitely get back into shooting.
Yeah, that's it. I don't want. My wife wouldn't let me have one anyway because she thinks I'd end up going to kill somebody because because it's podcast in general. Or just talk about the types of people that drive us nuts. She's like,
no, this is a ventilation thing.
Exactly. I've never. This sounds terrible because I say that and people are gonna go, well, his wife knows better than anyone else. Maybe he is a murderous maniac.
No. His wife is neurotic.
Well, yes, there's that.
Yes, I'm saying you're neurotic. I love you, but I think you're neurotic.
But I don't want to go without. Like I said, I'm not just going to show up at a range. I want to go with somebody that knows what they're doing. So,
yeah,
he messaged me and said, like, so, guns, diet, and exercise, huh? He's like, you want to do it? And I was like, well, maybe not the exercise, because I have no energy. I was like, I can't walk up the stairs without being fatigued now. I don't know, whatever's going on with me. And he was like, all right, well, diet stuff. He's like, we could talk about some just dieting stuff you can do that just to help with the energy. And just start there. So anyway, I got more feedback coming in, so I'm gonna try to. The thing with me is, I literally have OCD. So if and maybe that doesn't play into this, I don't know. But when I have something that I want to get done, I will fucking stop at nothing to get it done when I really want to do something. Okay. So I'm just trying to put myself in that headspace.
I mean, that's how this podcast happens. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I'm trying to put myself in the headspace of this is something you are going to fucking do. And then I'll just get on board and perseverate until I do it. For
me, and this sucks for me because I'm a leech when it comes to that. I need someone else's motivation to get me motivated.
I a lot of time do too. And I like having somebody to hold me accountable. I mean, in a lot of respects. That's why I go to therapy.
Yeah.
There's things that I
don't need to be shamed. I just need to be like,
right.
I need someone I can disappoint. That's not me.
That's what I mean by accountability. That's a better way to put it. I need somebody that I am disappointing by not doing what I'm. You're right. Not to shame me, just to be like, did you do the thing you were gonna do? No. All right.
Yeah, just that. That's simple. Like, just even you acting that out hurt me a little bit.
That's what I want. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. What about school? How you guys doing with back to school? Because we just started last week?
Yeah, my kids are fine. I like the idea of not having to deal with them 24/7.
Yeah. It's very bittersweet. Well, and my wife's a teacher too, so she's off in the summer too. But it's very bittersweet. Like, I like having everybody home all summer and the whole family's together. But
I mean, this summer for me.
No, you had a bad summer because you've got a certain situation. But and it's also like, well, it's nice to get back to routine.
No, I get you.
And know how each day is going to go too. So my kids are doing pretty well with it as well. I'm happy that they both. I mean, my daughter is a fucking nerd. She loves school. I had to take them out of school to go to the dentist yesterday. And my daughter was like, can I go back? I was like, there's like only an hour left, really, before... Yeah. She wanted to go back.
She wanted to go back to school.
She wanted me to bring her back. So I guess I'm happy. I'm very happy that she's not that kind of kid that you have to drag to school. Like, she wants to be in school.
Yeah.
I think for her, it's because she's in her social environment. All her friends. I mean, just bringing her to the school, I might have mentioned, just for the parent... Not the open house, the... go find your locker and meet your teacher thing. She's like walking around like, what's up, bye? What's up?
Yeah, my daughter was doing that, like hugging random girls.
I remember in my head, this is what school is like. It's their social environment. Yeah. It's not just learning. It's like this is where they're in their own
building
world.
their personalities.
Right,
and...
So my son's fortunately been, I was waiting, I'm like, oh my God, I hope I don't get notes home the first couple days or calls. And no, he's been good. He got little, not notes, but those like slips that like was respectful today.
Yeah, had a great day. Yeah. Oh, it was a hard morning this morning, but they're fine now.
Yeah, those are always fun. But I haven't had any negative, and he's been excited to go to school, which I'm glad.
But every time anyone asks my son, he flatly goes, "No, I don't want to go back." Like he's not at school at all.
I think that's a lot of kids though. That's most kids. That's how I was.
What I think is kind of funny is that I've gotten these two arguments. First week of school, well, second now, but was the homework argument. Yeah. Which I made this rule with my daughter. If it comes back incomplete, it comes to this house incomplete, it's homework.
Right.
I don't care what your teacher says.
No, I agree with you.
And if I have to call your teacher and tell her to tell you that's what it is, that's what it's going to be.
See, I don't have that problem because, again, my daughter's a fucking nerd. She misses a couple things in school or misses a day of school. She brings home the missed work and wants to fucking do it.
Well, my thing is my daughter will do her homework, but if it's homework to her.
Right. It's just that extra stuff that she didn't get done. She's just like, well, I don't know.
And she'll take forever to do it.
And that's how I think most kids, and I certainly was.
So the teacher for my son brought back homework. And said he has to do reading every night. He has to read this packet to you. It was a packet about this big. It was about the size of a thumb.
First grade, right?
First grade.
Yeah, I remember when my daughter was in first grade. She did the same thing. She had a book. And every night you got to read from this book.
My daughter didn't have that. Yeah. But I guess
neither did my son. Doesn't yet.
My daughter's first grade was COVID, so that could.
Oh yeah, mine too. You're right. So it was a little different. But after they went back. Yeah, she had a book. She had different books every couple of months.
It was a chaotic mess for my daughter. Like we still have the books in our house.
Yeah,
trying to get rid of because there were just so many of them. It was like books and packets and things that just were. I guess was part of her lesson plan that she went fucking bug nuts and was like, I can't do all this shit. Here, take it.
I hate homework in general because
Oh, yeah.
I'm of the mindset that they're at fucking school for 8 hours. They should be able to get plenty of fucking work done
Well,
there.
that's what I'm saying. Like
The 2 or 3 hours
you're just
they have
giving
before
me
bed.
homework.
Right. The 2
You
or 3. You're absolutely right. It should means I have to sit and try to figure this shit out for an hour with my
Like,
kid.
what do you think I do? I do work.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing more work.
Yeah, I totally
and
want to
now
have
I'm
to sit
arguing
there.
with a child because the work doesn't look like the work I did when I was little.
I was just gonna say it's completely like the math is completely fucking
so
different.
really
So now I have to actually figure out what the fuck I'm looking at and what I'm supposed to do.
I don't understand this, but yesterday I was helping my daughter with math homework. My daughter's great with math. My wife is great with math. I am retarded. I
not
cannot.
good at math?
I have dyscalculia or pneumocalculia. I think it's called dyscalculia.
You made that up. That's not a
No,
thing.
it's like it's like dyslexia, but for numbers. So
okay.
if I see a string of numbers, I mix them up all the time. I just have a very I move really slow when it comes to numbers because I can't see them properly.
Got it. Okay.
And so it was my daughter's starting to do times and like advanced subtraction and addition and stuff
Right.
like that. And it was like 297 plus 345. And then you have to round the smaller of the two numbers to the nearest 100. Whatever that number is, you have to then subtract it from the larger number and then add the other two numbers together and you'll get the answer. It was something like that.
My head hurts just trying to.
But I had to figure it out backwards because I didn't get a lesson plan. I just had to see her old work
and try to figure it
and
out.
try to figure it out backwards.
Yeah, I fucking hated that. Or I've hated that. Like, literally just like. And dude, listen, not to brag or anything. I took advanced calculus and I was an A+ student in advanced.
Yeah.
I fucking killed at calculus. I see this shit and I cannot figure it out.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's easy to help them when you don't have to show the work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
But
absolutely.
now it's saying show the work.
Show
I'm
the
like,
work, but show the work in this
Yeah.
new fucking way we don't know.
Look, I just stacked it. I was just like, well,
Yeah.
put this over this, and then minus this, minus this.
I've tried that.
There you go.
My daughter will be like, no, that's not
That's
how
how you
it's
do
supposed
it. I'm like, bitch, then fucking do it on your own. I can't help you.
You figure it out. Jesus, you're technically the expert in this over me. You figure it out.
Like, it makes me feel so incompetent as a parent
It
because
really
I know
does.
the answer, but I
It
can't
really does.
explain it to her.
Yeah, I just get happy when it's like English homework because that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
English is English.
Yeah.
You know, that shit doesn't. That shit's the same for the most part.
But my son, doing the reading, surprisingly enough, because he doesn't apply himself at all. Like, we ask him to read something, if he doesn't want to do it, he just won't. And I'm like, okay, fine.
Is that a little boy?
I think it's a
thing?
little boy thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just your pride gets hit, and you're like,
Yeah, it must
fuck
be.
that. I'm not even trying
Must
it.
be something like that. Yeah. Because I feel it's definitely
And just like, but
consistent.
do you know how you erased my Batman save, and I had like almost 200% complete on the game?
Wait, he did that?
Oh, he erased my Arkham City save.
When? Recently or?
Oh,
what?
he erased it like a year ago.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember you mentioned that. I would
well,
have fucked that.
I was mad at him for so long. Like, I would turn the game on, get really sad and angry, and then turn it off. I forced myself to play Gotham Knights all the way through to the end so he could have the open world to run around in.
Right.
And he erased it too. That was more recent.
How?
Because he's just pressing things.
Oh.
He's not reading,
Dude.
so he's just clicking things.
I would have been livid. And you know what the worst part is? You know how irrational it is to be mad about something that, pointless and
Yeah.
meaningless. And you can't help it. You're
Oh,
just
he
gonna
was
be
just
fucking
really upset because he was like, I can't play the game either. I went,
and you're like, that's all you care about?
don't even ask me don't ask me to help you. You need to beat it on your own. I can't do it. I went through all of it. I was giving the game props for some things, but overall it is super boring trying to unlock everything.
Right.
It is
yeah,
just
so it's gonna be
god
Most
awful
games are gonna be.
boring. The traversal's a nightmare. That is the worst part of the game. Traversal is so fucking bad. And there's a second tier to traversal that's good for 3 of the 4 characters. And still, that's a fucking loop to get through as well. And I'm not unlocking fast travel, because that's the most boring shit ever. You have to stand and take pictures of things.
Oh, really?
You have to take pictures of drones.
That's how you do the fast travel?
That's how you
They
unlock
made
fast travel.
fast travel unlock like a fucking thing. You had
It's like a honeydew.
In most games, it's just, you get to a certain point and you can unlock travel. That
You
way.
just press a button, you stare, the hawk flies around, and then it opens up. Like, no, you have to follow these fucking drones, and it's harder. as you go through. So I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to do it.
Tears of the Kingdom, like every time you find a shrine, it becomes an unlock location, and there's
That's
a million.
so simple. So it was just busy work that they made in the game, but my son erased games. And I said, buddy, if you learn to read, you won't accidentally erase games and make dad mad, and he's not going to want to help you. And that's one thing I've been really trying to teach the kids.
So
Don't
terrible.
make mom and dad angry, and we'll be happier to help you. It won't be a fight, and it'll happen more than likely.
I can't believe I would be so mad if one of my kids.
Two of my games. One I cared about.
Almost 100%
Arkham City. I was
dozens of hours.
I'm going to get 200% on this game. I'm going because I think it's 201. I think that's the.
Is there?
I think it's like a 201%.
That's
like,
the dumbest shit ever.
It's not even
Why
a
would
real
they
fucking
do that?
number, but whatever.
Why
right?
would 200%? That shouldn't be a real number either.
Because I was at 180 something for the longest time, and then I actually started like really like playing like little like going through things.
Yeah.
And he erased it, and I had just so happened to make a copy save of the 180.
You're a smart person.
And he erased it, and he feels bad, but he's so lazy that he just some time later just did it again. I'm like, read, god damn it, read. So I did the work with him, and he was reading perfectly fine. He was sounding out. He sounds out better than his sister does.
He's just being lazy.
He was just being lazy.
Yeah, that's the same problem I have with my son. It's just I've said so many times to him lately, like, please just stop being lazy. just don't be lazy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not asking you to do anything crazy. Just don't be lazy. Oh my god, it's so frustrating.
And I'm still trying to work out, and I don't know if anybody has any kind of advice. This is real life. My daughter has this bad habit of saying the opposite as if it is true. She just does it because she can. So if like, can you please stop arguing? Like, she'll argue with you about something. So it's like, can you not yell? I wasn't yelling. Yes, you were. I came in from like 4 rooms away because I heard you.
Right.
Because you were yelling. I wasn't yelling. Just because you say it doesn't make it true. And I try so hard not to yell about it anymore.
Right.
But I find we're now in a cycle that she just does that.
Yeah, that sounds like
And it drives me nuts.
I'm not going to use the right word. It sounds like that's just going to cause a cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son's new thing right now that he's been driving me crazy with is you're a liar. You're lying.
Oh my god.
I'm getting so. Hey, can we go outside and play? It's raining outside, buddy. It's all wet. You're lying. It's fucking wet. Look out the window. You're lying. He keeps doing that about everything. Oh my god! You have to take a shower tonight. I took a shower last night. I don't want to take one tonight. No, you didn't take one. You're lying. No, you didn't take one last night. You're lying. Not even yelling. Just you're lying.
You're saying you're lying. Just matter of factly, as if
I told him. I said. I'm going to take YouTube away from you because I don't say you're a liar or you're lying in the house. Nobody says that in the house. Nobody. Yep. So you must be seeing a YouTube video where somebody's saying you're lying and taking it from there. So he's like, no, I don't want. No, I don't want you to do that. It's like, then stop this bullshit. Stop.
Yeah, because your son and my daughter have similar.
Yes, they're very similar personalities. Where I think your son and my daughter have more similar personalities. Oh my god, it's so frustrating. He was the other week. It was that's stupid. It's like, please don't say that. And you know what? I'll say that sometimes. Like, oh, that's stupid. So maybe it's partially my fault, but he was just like, everything was, oh, that's stupid. That's
one
stupid.
thing I am kind of happy about because it won't bring trouble to my doorstep is that my kids actually do not like cursing. Like with the
my
cursing
daughter
around,
doesn't.
Yeah, with the cursing around them, it's just like it's not nice. I don't like it.
Well, my son knows not to, so he won't either. I've told both my kids. I've talked to them many times. I don't mind you cursing in context. If you want to say, at school today, Joelle said bitch. Like, that's fine. I don't care if you want to say that to me. Mm-hmm. And my daughter won't anyway.
Just don't curse at me.
She doesn't, period.
And, like, there's time and place for that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's it. Like, I'm okay with if you're saying something in context and you're quoting somebody, just don't use them in regular language. That's my big rule. And both of them are good. Neither of them really curse unless it's by complete accident and they just completely slip. It's happened a handful of times, and they immediately go, "Oh, oops! I didn't mean to say that.
And then Joanna, she went outside, and then Toby stepped on her foot, and she went, "You cocksucker!" Is cocksucker a bad word?
Yeah, and I mean, I've told my daughter, like, I don't mind if she says certain words, like damn and stuff, if she's just around me, because I don't want to be a hypocrite. If I'm gonna say that shit, then I can't tell my kid not to say. I mean, I can.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm being a hypocrite. So I'm like, you know what? If you say a bad word around me, I'd rather you don't, but I'm not going to punish you about it. But she still chooses not to because she doesn't want to. She doesn't like.
Have you dealt with the surreal situation of like your kids punishing their toys or playing?
Yes.
As if they are you.
Yes. Oh, plenty of times.
Using your tactics, but like to the toys.
Absolutely.
It's so surreal.
I mean, my son's two stuff. Well, he's got a few, but his two stuffies. He's got Bluey, the little seahorse, and Spot, his little dog. He treats them like they're his kids. I mean, he talks to them. He actually told me at the bus stop today. He was like, "Can you bring Bluey to the bus stop? Because he wants to come pick me up." I was like, "Okay, I'll bring Bluey to the bus stop."
My son has a sloth. I think his name is Jeff.
Sloths are the best.
And it has like
stuffed sloths are so cute.
Oh yeah, and it has Velcro on the hands and feet.
I've seen those.
And
I know
so
you're talking about.
My dad got it for him, and he's like, my son loves this thing, and I feel I don't know why I feel bad for doing this to a doll, but I just kind of like, it was on the bed and it was in my way, so I picked it up and kind of threw it a little bit to the other side of the bed.
Yeah. And
my son broke. He's like, "You hurt him!" And he started crying. I'm like, "What did I do? I hurt him!"
I know.
Oh, I had to hug him. I had to cradle, not my son, the doll.
The doll, yeah.
No, I had to hug him and cradle him and apologize him when he's a little mad at you, but he knows you didn't mean it on purpose. I was like, don't make an excuse for abuse. Oh, this is abuse.
I totally get it. I have to give them hugs. I have to give them hugs because sometimes they want hugs.
Yep.
Bluey wants a hug. I gotta give him a hug. Yeah, no, I get it. It's funny how kids do that, but I remember doing that when I was a kid too. I remember my stuffed animal. You know, some of my stuffed animals basically being alive to me. My daughter
had
went
a
through
dog.
that phase.
Never mind. I had a pound puppy.
Is that why? You had a pound. Oh, I thought
not
you had
a real
literal
dog.
Okay.
I did, and he ran away. No,
yeah,
I had
so
a
did
pound...
I was gonna say I had a dog and ran away. Is that why I was so in tune with my stuffies?
But I had a pound puppy dog that I kind of was like, was my replacement. For
I had a Popple.
Oh my God, Popples.
Yeah, I had a Popple, and then I had George, my monkey, who's upstairs in my bedroom. It's
like, as in Curious George?
I think I named him that, George? But he's not a Curious George doll. He's a monkey.
Because I was in love with Clifford. Like, I didn't have a doll of Clifford, but Clifford was real to me.
Now that I don't know why, but I'm going to assume I named him George because of Curious George. But he's up in my room. He sits in my room still. He's missing an ear.
Wow.
He's been missing an ear for a while. He still has on the baby pajamas I put on him when I was a kid.
Jeez. I realized I grew a sentimental value for the dolls my sister used to have.
Oh, really?
Like, when I go to visit my sister, and she has like this Beanie Baby skeleton and like these little dolls that she had growing up, and they're all faded and stuff, and I get sentimental. Like,
I get it.
Oh my God, like,
my poor babies.
I miss this thing.
I haven't seen him in so long. Yeah, my daughter was very similar with her stuffed animals for a while, and then she, like, to the point where I think she really thought they were real. And then she got to a point where she knew they weren't, but she still has that
magic.
She still has this, she still has that attachment to them. Like, I'm gonna, we went to Build-A-Bear a couple weeks back for my son's birthday, and she got another axolotl, and she sleeps with him. He can sleep with me, and she puts the other ones up behind her. She's like, because I want them up so they can sit with me, but it's too much having them all around me.
Yeah, I don't know people. My sister can do that. I did
that when I was a kid. I had them all lined up next to me
I did not sleep with any of my dolls.
No?
It felt weird.
I liked the security, but I was a timid little bitch kid. Can you say that now? Is that inappropriate now?
Oh, kids are bitches.
I was a bitch kid.
I was
a little bitch kid.
All little bitches.
You can't say pussy. I wasn't a pussy. You can't say that.
Little kids are afraid of lightning. They're bitches.
This is true. Yeah. I was definitely that kind of... Which actually brings me back to what I was going to say. I don't remember feeling that way about school, like when I'm watching my daughter prance around and all excited, but then I was like, oh yeah, because when I went to school, it was just relentless bullying and torture every fucking day.
Kids, all I have to say is be a man. Storm chase.
Storm chase?
Yes, chase storms.
Just go out there.
Just fucking, you see a storm?
Go watch Twister the movie and replicate that shit.
If you see a cow flying at you, punch that motherfucker right between the eyes.
You're doing it right. You're doing it right. You see a cow flying, you're doing it right.
Remember, the eye of the storm is the safest place to be.
Let's see. We've already been doing an hour, but I still have other things I want to talk about, so I'm trying to decide.
Sorry.
Well, we were going to talk about the robots at the football game.
Oh my God. That's a simple one. It's stupid. It's stupid. So the NFL, I guess during a Chargers game, had like this movie promotion go up. I don't know what movie.
Doesn't matter.
But they had people. Well, they had what news articles are saying are robots in the stands. AI robots. Not even just robots. AI robots in the stands. When it's just fucking people with
makeup.
Like headphones and makeup. Like this looks
really basic prosthetics.
Really basic prosthetics. Like if the servos on the side like moved around and shit, that would be astounding.
Maybe something, but like just look at the photo.
You could look at the photos. And people are like, well, they look so real. You're looking at pictures.
I mean, just the headline. There's such clickbait headlines. Like, AI robots at Chargers games. AI robots take seat at NFL game. AI robot fans seen at Chargers game. AI robots went to Dolphins game and freaked out everyone.
We were just talking about ethics in video in journalism, but these movie studios had to have paid these journalists, to fucking say these specific things.
Sportskeeda, a site I very regularly read, so this isn't even. Fact check: were the AI robots at the Dodgers game at SoFi Stadium real or fake? It wasn't even
Somebody
Dodgers.
Actually
it was
had
Chargers.
to look up.
Yeah, this is an actual article on whether or not they were real or fake.
So stupid, so goddamn dumb.
To promote new movie. Yeah, it doesn't
Look,
say what
first
the
of
movie
all, we were just ChatGPT is still retarded. I gotta stop using that word.
Yeah, you do. My wife's gonna murder you. ChatGPT is dumb. It is not. It's gotten dumber. You know why it's gotten dumber?
I only use that word when we're doing the show. I realized.
Yeah.
I don't know what brings it out of me. Maybe I could become too aggro.
You go aggro and just revert to your primordial dumb form. Yeah, the ChatGPT has clearly gotten dumber because it. You know what my theory is? My theory is it only had, like I said, up to like 2021 or something. Yeah. And the world just continuously got dumber after that. So once they opened it up and let it start absorbing information from after that, it got dumber and dumber.
It was like, oh, this was incorrect.
Yeah, it was like, we're going to, all right, here's more information for you. And they didn't realize all the information they feed it was just stupid. Dumb shit.
I would love an AI to interpret or be a character in Idiocracy, like an actual AI.
Look, this is what happened. It devolved to the point where it was dumber than us. Okay, last thing before we do our topic. I got this article, New York Times article yesterday that I don't understand. A decongestant in many cold medicines doesn't work, an FDA panel said. The decision may lead to products being pulled from shelves. Many popular medicines, including Tylenol, Mucinex, Benadryl, and NyQuil products, contain the ingredient which is known as phenylephrine. I can't pronounce properly, which I know it to be. I just got this and I was like, huh? I've taken like Mucinex and shit. That shit definitely works. I've taken it and
it has not worked for me.
Really? I mean, I've taken it and it 100% has cleared my nasal cavity out. But then
it dries my nasal cavity out. But
that's not what it's supposed to do.
Get decongested. I still have decongestion, especially in my chest.
Yeah, but that's
still in my body.
Is that what it's supposed to do? Though I thought it was nasal decongestion usually. Either way. I've just read this and it's like, how many years has that been on the market? Forever.
That's how medicine works.
No one realized that it didn't work for all those years.
Well, I mean, the placebo effect is a bitch. Like
but that's a strong placebo effect. We're not talking about like a one-off medication. We're talking about a fucking litany of products designed around.
Yes, because they're all going to compete. But still, think about it. It can still help a little bit. It might. It does dry out your sinus cavity. Regardless. That's something it does do. But does it clear out anything? Does it actually, keep the infection from spreading or whatever the fuck?
But it's not supposed to. It's just supposed to
ease it.
Yeah, it's supposed to just reduce your symptoms.
Think of how many people use it with, when they have little, like, they only have a little bit of a cold going on. There's, so even maybe you weren't going to get sick to begin with, but you're going to use it anyway.
Well, I'm in my head. Is this not representative of everything?
Wasn't Claritin supposed to make people high? And it does. It can make people high.
Oh, I didn't know that. But how many billions of dollars have been spent on those products over the years?
How many billions of dollars were made on those products?
That's what I mean. It doesn't actually work. No one noticed. No one noticed for decades.
Because nobody knows anything about medicine.
Yeah, but you think if
nobody knows that. We literally live in a day where people suggested using fucking horse medicine. Seriously, no! I believe that is very possible.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that's a whole different issue though. Like that wasn't like mainstream. Like, hey, we should use this.
We argue about a vaccine that isn't a vaccine that's supposed to vaccinate against a thing that it doesn't vaccinate against.
Well, did you see? There's they also
no, I don't follow.
They
COVID
just
stuff.
they just proved a new shot, a brand new one.
Why?
And, I
What's
don't
the
know.
point at this point? Everybody's vaccinated, aren't they?
No,
I'm
because
saying sarcastically.
I hate thinking about it because it just reminds me of the fact that when everybody was gung ho about getting vaccinated, I was like, yeah, totally on board. And there are a bunch of people that are like, it might not be the best idea. It doesn't. And the fact that, like, just the timeline, the fact that it was like, yeah, you won't get sick if you get it. And then it was like, you might get sick, but only a little bit. And it was like, okay, you might get pretty sick, but you won't die. And it was just like the fact that it just kept changing.
Hey, you might get sick, but it's not going to be COVID. It'll be something else because the vaccine might introduce something else.
The fact that it just
like, it's always
changing.
something different.
And
always.
I guess I was just trying to grasp at the idea that I didn't just do something stupid for the sake of, because I was told to. I wasn't a sheep. When I guess it kind of seems like maybe we were kind of a little bit.
The fact that you give credence to anti-vaxxers drive me fucking crazy. Not you, but like in general.
But it's a whole different. Oh no, we're talking about two different things though. The COVID vaccine is a completely different thing than vaccine.
I agree.
Right,
but those people co-opted.
You're absolutely right.
Like,
you're not talking about me. You mean in
not
general.
you specifically.
The fact that you
general.
put out a vaccine that didn't actually do everything that you said,
and you don't give all the information. You keep you pretty much made everything. Not you again specifically.
Right? No, I know. Okay, I thought you were talking about what I just said. You're talking.
No,
in
you
general.
as the people who are supposed to trust with medical shit.
You put this vaccine out that didn't do what you said, and now you make the people that are against regular vaccines look like they're being.
Yeah,
they're correct.
Any grifter,
you give them
you
give them something to point to.
Yeah. Like, the sheer fact that I have a bunch of people that I used to fucking respect that are into fucking salt crystals, thinking that that'll save people from being sick.
Oops.
Okay, then you'll die of sodium. What the fuck are you talking about that salt crystals are gonna save you? That crystal that you have literally has an outlet, plugs into an outlet so it can turn on.
Yeah.
Like, what are you fucking telling me? I had one of my friends push their Reiki practice onto me.
Oh, Reiki! You know what my favorite phrase was? When I used to, one of my old jobs, there was a woman that was a receptionist who was a Reiki practitioner. And I'd just go, Reiki is fakey. Every time she passed by, she hated it. Oh, Reiki. All of those pseudoscience garbage things that are out there, we could do a whole episode on that shit. Actually, Reiki practitioners, I think, is on the list somewhere of things we want to eventually touch on as a topic. But I guess, hey, we can get into our topic for today since we've been already over an hour, as usual.
It's time to begin the complaining.
So, our topic today is bad shoppers. For now, maybe we'll think of a better way to phrase it. But
bad shopper.
Just people in any sort of shopping location that make the experience worse for everyone else and the employees who work there. And there are so many ways that this happens. And did you ever work retail? Like I know. Okay.
Yes, I did.
And I worked retail for a long time.
Sam's Club.
I worked at, I think I've talked about before, I worked in the Music Land group, so it was Media Play, and then Suncoast Video, which had, and I didn't work in a Sam Goody, but Sam Goody was their other property. Huh?
I think you probably would have worked there.
I would have if they asked me to. Holy fucking shit, were there just a million different ways people pissed me off. But like, just in general, there are so many ways people piss me off as a shopper. From, really mundane things like not putting your shopping cart away, like just stupid shit like that, to, where
sticking their gum on the shopping cart.
Sticking your gum on the shopping cart, to, the extreme of just being an asshole to a cashier. There's a whole range in between there. But Jesus Christ, did I experience all of it. I get so mad when I see people not put their shopping carts away when I'm out shopping, because I'm like, I fucking take the time to bring it over to the stupid little corral to make it a little easier for them to collect. But It's not even that. It's just that they're all over the fucking parking lot and they're in my way. I go to pull into a spot and there's a fucking shopping cart in the middle of the spot.
Yeah. Look, just going like retail shopping is, I think, the main cause of people starting to believe that everyone else in the world are NPCs.
Yes.
Because it's just, once you see it, like, you can't break that thought process.
Oh my god,
afterwards.
that's such a perfect way to put it. You're right.
Because it's insane. There's always like the one loud. It's usually an older guy that's speaking extremely loudly on their phone, saying just the most mundane yet outlandish shit.
Oh,
and you don't know if they're being rude to the person they're talking to on the phone.
Yeah, speakerphonistas, man.
Oh my God.
They're prevalent when it comes to shopping places.
Like,
Just walking down the aisle, talking to themselves, super loud.
Super
about
loud.
Nothing. Yeah, I'm just in Target. Yep. Had to pick up some tampons from a girlfriend.
No, I told Chuck that he had to get the other thing. And that's why I'm here getting the thing. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, they better fucking have it. They better if they don't have this shit, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Look, how am I supposed to tell the difference between this and the other thing? Hey, Domingo, I don't care what you're talking about, man. I want you to fuck him, okay? Because there's always a Dominican guy with, like, thigh-length jean shorts on the phone. Usually has really thick glasses. Just talking shit.
Yeah, those people drive me nuts. People who don't put things back where they got them in stores always drives me crazy.
I feel so bad, especially in Sam's Club, when they unfold the clothes that are laid out on the buffet of clothing in the middle of the store.
I at least try.
Yeah, at least try. I don't care if it's half bald, but at least keep the clothes close to where they were.
I mean, anytime I've ever had to, I haven't done it, in a brick and mortar store in forever because I do everything online now. But I just have to go to shop for like Dockers or jeans, and I'd go over there and it would just be a fucking mishmash of like balls of pants everywhere. And God forbid I try to find my fucking size.
Oh, Jesus.
I literally have to go. I'd have to go through the entire section and pull every piece of fucking clothing off and check the tag because they weren't in any sort of order. Yeah. And you want to get mad at the fucking store or the employees and be like, do your job. It's not their fault.
No, they are doing their job.
They're doing their best.
They're more than likely doing someone else's job too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then have to clean up behind your ass.
It's just some dumb fuck that decided to go through. And why? Like, why are they everywhere? If I'm looking for a pair of pants, they're supposed to be stacked up nicely with the tags out. At the very least, maybe I have to pull one out and check the tag, and I can slide it back in. Yep. How do they end up in balls? Just thrown fucking everywhere. Is that people trying them on?
Have you tried trying clothes on, and you walk over, and it's just like the dressing rooms are buried in fucking clothing?
Oh, well, that's a good point because
it's like an igloo of clothes.
I was gonna say
that you have to walk around.
I was gonna say maybe people are trying the clothes on and then they go put them back and they just throw them in a ball. But you're right; they don't even have to. They leave them in the dressing room typically,
or they leave them in the dressing room.
Let's be honest. Everybody's too lazy to actually go put them back. They're going to leave them in the fucking dressing room because they're supposed to. They're not going to try to put them back where they belong.
Well,
and not even just like clothing displays, just in general, like you go pick up a fucking, I don't know, a Discman. Yeah, Discman, folks. Discman. You pick up a Discman. Where did I go to Discman?
I don't know.
I'm so fucking terrible.
That's really good.
So I pick up Discman, and then I'm like walking through the food section. I'm like, I don't want this. And I just sit on the shelf. And now my ass, who needs a Dixman.
Wow, you really.
Freudian slip. That's right, folks. I want dick. I go to find it, and the only one they have is on the shelf over in the food section. So I can't find the one I wanted because somebody didn't fucking put it back where it belongs. Or people that like. Not only don't put it where it belongs, but they...
Did you want the medium dick or the extra large dick?
Oh, I only want the small dick, okay? I can't handle those big ones.
There's only extra small. There are no smalls. They're sold out of smalls.
Well, that's what I'm used to, so just get that, okay? And, like, the people that not only just stick it on the shelf, but, like, hide it behind other shit? Like, is that intentional?
I don't fucking know. I know once, and I am so angry. Somebody did put clothes back once, and I was fixing the clothes, and I reached in, and it was wet.
That's so gross. I don't even. It doesn't matter what.
It doesn't matter what it is at that point.
It could be water. It's still gonna be gross.
It was.
You don't know what it is. So, right? So.
And I didn't... usually if you touch something and you have a suspicion it's kind of wet, you might sniff, like, the... I couldn't even do that. I was just too grossed out.
Which is a weird predilection to begin with. It's like, this is wet, let me smell it.
Well, no, because, like, for instance, if something's, like, wet, usually, like, okay, I don't know if it's food.
Oh, no,
leavings.
I understand.
Gasoline. I don't know what it is.
It's still a weird thing to do.
It's a safety thing. Like, smell is, like, one of the first things your brain goes, okay, this is a bad thing if it smells bad.
Yeah, but
I was so grossed out that I couldn't even, like, I had to, like, hold my hand out, and I'm holding my kid, and I can't tell, like, I'm squeezing my kid's hand because I'm freaked out that my hand is wet.
Well, I'm glad there's sanitizer everywhere now. That's one good thing that came from COVID. There's fucking sanitizer everywhere now, so I appreciate that because I love making sure I can sanitize my hands, on demand when I feel like it now. I just like the reminder because I'm like, get rid of germs. When I go pump gas now, I've got it. I put some on my hands. No gas smell. Hands feel cleaner.
One of the most evil incantations retail has ever set upon the world as a curse or a scourge was the customer is always right. Because that just gives those
I don't know what fucking cunt came up with that phrase, but that is not true.
Yeah.
Oh, people say that shit too. I've had many people when I was in retail actually say, well, the customer is always right. What is it? Isn't that?
I guess you're not right in your home.
The customer's wrong, bitch.
Yeah. I guess you're just never right in your home, huh? I guess you just have to come here to feel some semblance of power.
Just saying, I don't. What do they think? It's some sort of magical phrase that you're like a Manchurian candidate. You just go, okay, I must do everything this person tells me to do now.
Orientation is not a brainwashing session.
Orientation for me was go do something. No fucking
always
orientation.
Look busy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, there's people who fucking cannot seem to walk properly or traffic properly in stores, whether that's going down, there's literally 5 people going down the right side. Okay, we all know you're supposed to stick to the right in all situations, right? That's the general rule.
I mentioned it in an earlier episode when we were talking about retail shit.
Yes, this is the general rule.
That's how I feel.
There could, even if you don't know that rule, there's 4 or 5 people on
the right side. There are people! You can see the other people!
Just one dumbass is I'm gonna get on the left side and walk right into them and act like I'm the one that's
my
a fucking
favorite,
asshole.
and it's usually old ladies, and yes, backing up, not paying attention that you are in a public space.
Backing up to begin with, what's the why? What are you
might
doing?
have to. You might have missed something. You might be looking at the aisle. I can understand the reason of backing up.
Turn around.
You might not be able to. There might be other people in the aisle.
Leave your cart there. Turn your body
You're
around.
You're just not going to give me this one.
Because it doesn't make... You don't have to turn your whole fucking thing. Just turn your body around.
I can also think it's a thoughtless action.
It is thoughtless. I'm not saying that it's
because it's a natural malicious. I know what you're saying.
You're right.
Most people aren't going to think that far. You alright?
Yeah, so my one of my cousins randomly texted me the other day, hi or something like that, and I was like, oh, that's weird. She hasn't texted me forever, and I just kind of ignored it. And then I just got a text from her that says, accept my invitation and win 4 freebies with a link. And I'm like, oh, she got hacked. Okay. Yeah. Something got hacked. All right.
If you're talking to me, I know that.
Yeah, well, that was kind of it. I haven't talked.
Either someone died or you were hacked.
Right. Yeah. It apparently was the hack. So now I'm gonna have to try to get in touch with her later somehow and tell her she was somehow hacked or something's going on.
But yeah. Okay. But backing up, just in general, I've been bumped into, and not even bumped into, and then oh, I'm sorry. I've gotten that before, but. It's the one where you back into someone and then you get mad at them.
How dare you be in my space? I was clearly going to enter that space and you're already occupying it. What are you thinking?
I'm sorry. First of all, I'm the one that has ass juice on me now. I should be the one that's upset. Second of all, get your fucking ass out of the way. There are people here.
Yeah, people are... You're right. I don't think it's intentionally malicious, but they do 100% completely ignore the fact that they're in a public space and just seem to think that the world... Again, everybody else is an NPC. It doesn't matter if I bump into him. He's an NPC. Yeah, that drives me fucking crazy. And the people who... you ever go and it's either a family or some kids and they just line up 3 or 4 wide.
They become a phalanx?
Yeah, and just...
they're fucking Spartans?
Yeah.
They just want to stop you in your fucking tracks.
Walk down the aisle and get irritated when and As if there's literally nowhere else for you to go. You can't go around and then they get mad that you're like in their way and they have to like split up around you. Fucking dickheads. Yeah, so
My shopping cart will blot out the lights. Well, then we'll shop in the shade.
You people who touch everything in the produce section.
That aren't kids?
Yeah, that aren't kids. You're grown-ups. And you're picking fucking every single one up and like pawing it with your greasy ass hands and then putting it back. You know what? I wouldn't care if your hands were clean, but I know your hands aren't clean. So it's fine.
I saw you walk out of that bathroom.
Yeah.
We know there's no more soap in
know.
the dispenser in the
So
bathroom.
next time I go to find a fucking tomato, I'm gonna be thinking about your piss hands all over my fucking tomatoes. And yes, I know you're supposed to clean them when you get home. That's besides the point.
Oh, okay. And you assholes who wait outside of those weird fucking assholes who wait outside of the bathroom but don't have kids that you're waiting on to come out of the bathroom. Fuck y'all. Fuck every single one of you.
Wait, what is that all about? I've never been able to figure it out. What are they doing?
I have no idea. They're not looking at anybody.
Yeah, they're just hanging
they're
out.
not waiting. And I am paranoid because my child's in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, I'm trying to make sure that you're not walking in, but I don't want to look like a weirdo and I don't want to get arrested or in trouble for staring at you, not staring at like I don't want to have it snowball into something. But they live there. Just fucking hanging out.
I've brought my
near
kid to
the bathroom
area.
area.
The person's standing there, and I just assume they're waiting for someone, and then we do our thing and leave.
Or
and
you go into the bathroom and there's nobody there, so who are they waiting for?
Or 20 minutes later, I pass by the bathroom again, and they're still standing there
with
their phone, just like chilling out. I'm like, are you waiting for somebody to leave so you can go sniff the seat? Like,
what's happening?
What is happening right now?
Please tell me an associate is watching you.
Those people drive me crazy. I fucking hate people who hold up lines. Those people drive me nuts.
Like the actual line to the register?
No, it's more like customer service lines.
Okay.
So I'm waiting in customer service to just make a simple return, and the person in front of me is going through this fucking epic debate and argument with the person over their bullshit. Like, I bought this here, but I don't have a receipt, and they're like generously going to give them store credit, but they won't even accept that. They want fucking cash back. And there's a line of people behind them waiting to just do a simple fucking return that actually has the receipt and is doing the right thing, but they feel the need to sit there and bitch and then wait, and then they got to go find a manager. And then, okay, this is the cashier's fault or the manager's fault when they don't take the person to the side and say, okay, we'll deal with this over here.
Deal with it over there.
Next customer.
At the register, they're clearly not using.
Right. And like, okay, we'll take you over here and deal with this so the next customer. But they don't do that. No. The person just gets to continue to stand there and fucking throw a shit fit about God only fucking knows what. Drives me fucking nuts.
You really are thinking about dicks today. Yes.
I got a confession.
I just watched you just shut down.
My face just went, oh, not again. I got a confession to make. I love dicks. Sporting goods. It's a great story. Probably my biggest pet peeve for stores, and this is the one that drives me, literally, this is the one that drives me the most nuts. The express line. The fucking express line. When I've got two fucking things. And there's self-checkout now, so it's not as bad as it used to be. But sometimes, I don't know how to... This could sound stupid, but like produce, I don't know how to do that shit in self-checkout. So I just go to the line.
Really?
I've always... I don't know how to do it because in my head I'm like, wait, this doesn't have a barcode, so what do I do with it?
Sir, you judge me for thinking that Blackberries are complicated. When the touchscreen says... Usually says produce... Or look up item.
I don't know
you
this.
Press the button, and it gives you an ABC list of things. And then, if you didn't know that the scanner is a weight.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't fucking work for Walmart or ShopRite or whatever. I'm not pushing buttons on the screen to figure out how to charge myself.
It's self-checkout. No, once you walk into self-checkout, you have to check yourself out.
No.
And not in a mirror.
If I go to self-checkout...
At the scanner.
Don't make me work. I will scan something very quickly. That's fine. I'm not going through a machine to figure out where my item is.
Before they had self-checkout, when you grabbed produce, right?
Yeah.
Did you use that little weight thing? Because you have to put it in the bag. Did you use that little weight thing to know how much you would have to pay for it?
No, not typically, because I'd be like...
Because you do that yourself, right?
Yeah, but I typically wouldn't do that. Like if I wanted...
That's essentially what you're doing.
But I want tomatoes. I go, I need 2 tomatoes. In my head, I'm not thinking I'm going to buy a pound of tomatoes. In my head, it's, I need 2.
Okay, so you specifically are inconvenienced by the fact that you just have to press 2 buttons.
Dude,
and wait your.
it's not my job to use your computer system to figure out how to charge myself. Okay?
Then don't go to self-checkout.
If I can't...
Stick to your express lane.
Well, I don't. I go to the fucking express lane when I have produce. I just said that because I don't want to have to figure out how to do their fucking jobs.
You are just admitting that you're too stupid to use
No.
self-checkout.
All right, fine. No, that literally is the reason. In my head, I went, this doesn't have a barcode. I don't know how to check it out. So I'm just going to go to line. And I never gave it
Who
any
ate
more
the
thought.
sticker off of this apple?
I never gave it another second of thought after that. I was just like, oh, produce, I guess I got to go to line. Anyway, I go to the express line, and some motherfucker, I'm not talking about it's like a 20 item and they have 22.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about they have a full fucking
Full
shopping cart. And I thought
self-checkout stopped at... Okay, not self-checkout. I know. I don't use express. I've never used express lanes.
I always do, because when I go in a supermarket, I'm not shopping because I don't.
Well,
I don't.
I didn't start shopping like publicly until self-checkout was actually a thing, and that's just something I exclusively did.
Okay.
So I thought. So I'm sorry. I have used express lane, but I've only used it for like one or two things. So I thought after I hit a certain number, since there is a number, I thought it would just stop. Like, no, fuck you. You're wasting the express lane. That's what I used to think it would do.
Well, how would it do that?
It would just stop. Once it hits 20, it's a
like
computer.
It's programmed to
yeah,
not
that's what I thought anyway.
Holy shit, that solves the problem.
Because it would just go.
Why don't they do that?
You can't.
Because here the problem I had is always, why has this employee not told this person, go get in another line, you fucking cunt. You have 37 things and it's a 10 thing limit.
Yeah.
Okay,
there's a reason for the express lane.
Because I mean, also I'm a sadist, so when I was an employee in retail, if something like that happened, I would have been like, no, sorry, I'm not checking you out. You've got too many things. So I would have just from the sheer just getting to tell the person, fuck you. So maybe everybody's not like me and they don't want to confront the person and tell them they have to go to another lane, but they never do. Yeah. No cashier. I've never had a cashier be like, that's too many things, dude. Like, what are you doing? So then my ass has to sit there. I'm planning on, it could take me 2 fucking minutes to get through the checkout line, but now I gotta wait 15 minutes while this dumb cunt runs 15 things.
Now,
1,500 fucking things. Okay, I went hyperbolic.
Half the problem is on the shops, though. Because I don't understand what this practice is. Walmart does this all the goddamn time. They have like 12 lanes, only have 3 of them open at any given time.
Why do they make that many lanes?
The express lane and the self-checkout.
But why do they have
don't
20
have
fucking
so many
lines?
lanes? Because
you're never going to hire more than 5 cashiers.
The Target near us remodeled completely, added more lanes, and still only have 3 open.
Yeah.
And customer service.
Isn't that like what? Don't they think to themselves, we're wasting money creating all these checkout lanes and paying for the computers when we're never going to use them because we know we're too fucking cheap to hire people?
Absolutely. Every fucking Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there is a line that goes to the back of Target.
Is it like a subliminal thing?
Where
in they're like, they were told like, hey, even if you're only gonna have 3 checkers, if you put like 20 lanes in there, people will subliminally when they walk in be like, oh, there's a bunch of lanes, so they'll shop there and they won't only see the 2 and go, fuck this, I'm leaving.
It could be part of that whole.
Seems like a waste of money though.
It is,
because
though.
it's not like you have any competition. There's no store out there that does have 20 lanes open when they need them.
Because I can almost see it for the self-checkout asshole who's gonna bring like 30 things to a 20, even a 15 express checkout lane thing where they're going, fuck it. There's lines going down to the back of the store for these 3 lanes and self-checkout.
With people with carts full of 100 items. Yeah. I'm okay with that. I'm okay if you got 30 and it's a 20 lane and you're like, fuck this, there's like a ton of people over there. Yeah. I'm okay with that. It's the people that bring a full fucking cart to the express lane just because they're fucking assholes and want to cut lines.
I have one that'll piss you off.
I have one too. Go ahead. No, you go ahead. I'll do mine next.
People who are in the line. It's usually a younger woman and her mother.
Are you going where I'm going?
And they're talking, they're discussing something, and she goes, "Oh, go in the lane, get this for me."
Oh, different one.
And then they do it multiple times, not just once. Like they forgot one thing.
Did you ever
they're shopping while the cart's in the lane, moving up. And you're like,
and you literally are waiting on them to have somebody go get something.
Something else.
Did your parents ever do that to you when you were little?
No.
My mom did. No.
Okay. Again, when something's forgotten, it's always just one thing.
Right.
So it's not like we're taking up time because we'll be at the back of the line, but she goes, shit, I just went in. That's different.
That's fine. I'm talking about people who are actually
like basically using you to shop.
Yeah. My mom used to do it to me all the time. And it was because she forgot something. But she'd say...
Your mom seems the type she'd do that.
She'd be like, oh, we need paper towels. Can you She would do the opposite. She'd have me stay in line, and she'd go
and
down.
you're sitting there with everyone looking at you.
And I'm like, I'm 12 years old, and if I get to the front of the line,
what am I going to do?
I'm just going to stand here and wait for you to come back, and then I look like an asshole.
And they'll take forever to come back.
Yeah. Oh my god, I fucking
You know what,
hated
dude?
that.
You just unlocked a memory for me because my dad did that shit to me.
Dude,
My dad fucking did
it was
that.
so bad. She did it all the time because my mom's that type. She was always trying to, because she had so many things to do. She was trying to get done as quickly as possible, and she'd be like, "Oh, I forgot this," and she'd run and get it, and I'd be like, "Motherfucker, I hope I don't."
I thought I'd never dealt with that pain.
The panic in me.
I think I just wiped that from my memory.
I'm next, and she hasn't fucking come back.
I've had to start loading things onto the turnstile.
See, I was so timid. I was like, I don't even want to have to do that. I don't want to load it.
It has nothing to do with being timid. It has to either do it or get my ass whooped because I didn't do it. Because ass whoopings were a thing when I grew up.
Yeah,
when I was
I get it.
up.
I get it. I didn't have that to worry about from my mother, but I definitely did not want to be the person that was waiting in line.
Your mom cracks me up. Her personality alone kills me, and I love it with you two in the same room.
It's weird because I'm such a fucking cynical asshole, and she's the complete opposite. Whatever.
It's like a curmudgeon and
I don't
a
know what
hippie.
the opposite of cynical and asshole would be. Yeah, she's like literally the complete opposite. Yeah, that shit used to. No, what I was gonna say was when I'm in line and I'm the next person in line, and there's like 4 people behind me, and then another cashier comes over and is like, "Hey, I'm opening up the line over here. Could I have the next person online?"
And then
it's some cunt at the back of the line scurries on over there like the fucking rodent they are and gets in the line first. And I'll say, I'm such, you know me, so I say, she said next person in line. That's not you. Especially if it's not me. Like if it's the person 2 in front of me and I'm at the back of the line, the person behind me runs. I'm like, they didn't say person at the back of the line. They said next person in line. That's not you. And they give me a dirty look, and they don't care. And the cashier's not going to say anything because again, they're not looking for conflict.
It's funny that you mentioned that because when I worked at Sam's Club, that happened in reverse, where I opened up my lane.
Okay.
And I was like, because we had long lines. It was raining outside. Whenever it rained, people were in Sam's Club.
Yep.
And I called, the next person in line, and somebody, I think, I barely remember the lady, but it was a lady, pulls out like halfway through to go to my lane and went, no, I said the next person. And that person was just like, no, I'm not going to go. I'm going to stick with this. I guess they knew the cashier or whatever.
Yeah, that happens.
And then the person behind them went. But I instantly was just like, as soon as she popped out, I was paying attention. Because I set up my register before I say anything.
Well, now that you mentioned it, I can think of 1 or 2 instances where they were like, no, the next person.
You are not the next person.
Yeah, a couple. But most of the time, they don't want confrontation.
Oh, no, it's heart-wrenching. That was fucking... I was nervous. It's just that...
See, I don't get it. I love the opportunity to be an asshole to someone. I spoke
before I thought about it. I just kind of said it.
Yeah.
It was too late.
You wouldn't have said it otherwise.
Yeah, I was like... Oh,
yeah, I don't get that because I was just... I reveled in any opportunity to be a total dick.
I wish I could just...
I loved it.
Have joy in doing
it brought me
that
so much joy.
In the moment. I cannot get joy out of it.
It brought me joy because these people were being cunts. And I got to point it out to them. That's why it brought me joy. It wasn't a matter of making somebody... maybe a little making them angry. It wasn't a matter of inconveniencing someone or being a dick. It was, I get to point out to this fucking asshole that they're being a fucking asshole. That's why I liked it.
I think for me, it's just that deep down, I don't think that people are going to learn anything from it, so I don't get any kind of
They're not.
I don't get any feeling from it.
They're not, but I get to point it out. I get to call it out so that at least one point in their life, somebody was like, you're being an asshole.
And I hope that stays in your head for the rest of your life, just in the back of your head.
Maybe keep thinking about it later.
Yeah.
I don't care. You're not going to change your habits, but I do want you to be thinking about this later, like, that guy called me out on being an asshole. Fuck.
Maybe there's one time I'm not going to do it.
Maybe.
And then they'll do it.
It's possible. Yeah, then they'll do it anyway.
They go total South Park.
That shit used to... it still drives me crazy because it still happens to me all the time. Because a lot of stores do that now. They'll have one line open, and then as soon as they see like 4 or 5 people, then they get another person on register. It's always been that way. It was that way when I worked in retail. Yeah. If the line got too long, they'd call me up to the register.
I do have a funny retail story. It was not really funny, but it's cute. It's a cute retail story because I was talking loudly on my phone. I wasn't actually loud. I had my headphone in.
You were shopping?
Yeah, I was shopping, and my mother-in-law wanted me to get something specific. So I called her to ask, like, specifically what she was looking for. and I'm sitting there at my face. I'm right in the lane, looking at like soy sauce and stuff.
Right.
And I'm asking her what brand, like how many ounces. I'm trying to appease her because I'm in her house for the summer.
I get it.
And as I said, little old white ladies love me. She like was walking by me, saw me talking to myself, and went, "Oh my God!" Like she said, "Oh my God," really loud. And I turned around and I'm like, "I'm sorry, did I do something?" He goes, "I thought you were talking to yourself, honey. I was worried for a second." And she was like touching me.
What, she thought you were just standing
just
there
being crazy, talking to myself because and we had a laugh, but it was just like, "You're touching me." Like it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean that's
again, people
that
like,
could be a whole episode too. People who feel that
but it was
body contact.
But it was just funny that this lady just like, I freaked her out because she sat there like trying to analyze if I was talking to myself.
It's also funny too that like it's totally cool for this lady to come over and
in my business.
Shoulder. But if you went over and touched her shoulder, that would be a big no-no.
Here's the thing: I don't know if it would be a problem to her personally because I don't know the lady. I don't know her at all.
I mean, in general, like
but
societally,
if someone on the outside saw it,
somebody have
general,
fucking issues.
Like you said, in general, it would be a problem.
Right. Somebody saw that, it'd be a big issue. But it's okay for her. In fact, any woman, really. I think any woman can go and put their hand on a guy.
No, I mean, if
for the most part, then.
For instance, if she was like a big lady. Like an imposing lady.
I don't even know if I'd see that. I mean, I might be intimidated, but I don't think in general people would be like, you can't do that.
I guess.
Well, like, that should just be the general rule. Don't touch other people you don't know. Period.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Unless you've got really large breasts, then you can come and hug me all you want. I'm just kidding.
The funny thing is, I was waiting for you to say it.
I had
like, not that specifically, but something along those lines.
But like, seriously, that should be the general rule. Just don't touch other people. Period.
Yeah, just
unless it's invited.
But yeah, clothes shopping. Although the type of person I do find also enjoyable, and it's a child, is the children who are hiding in clothing. I just think that's the funniest shit. I used to love that shit when I was a kid.
In between the racks.
Yeah, I just love it because I'll be shopping and the kid, like, you see like little gremlin head, like
curtains parting.
I think it's hilarious.
I think it's hilarious too. Well, that's it. You know what? That's another thing that pisses me off. People that give kids shit that are just trying to have fun.
They're bored.
They're bored as shit. Their parents dragging along to the store for an hour while they pick out shit. And you're just following the cart around. You're gonna try to find shit to do. So yeah,
absolutely.
People that
like if the kid's not being a pain in the ass,
absolutely,
and they're just trying to enjoy their time, especially if they're in fucking Home Depot or Lowe's.
How many times have you seen?
Man, like,
you're walking through and there's a kid just kind of like running around circles, like laughing, and then there's somebody walks by with a nasty look, looking at him like,
yeah, just like
control your kids. Fuck you.
Control your emotions.
Yeah, fuck you. What are they doing? They're not bothering you. I mean,
like,
maybe
I can get if the kid was being a shit.
Yeah, no, not that.
If it is the parent and they're irritated with their kid, there's probably a reason.
That's different. Well, the parent has every right to. They're their kids. I don't care what that reasoning is. Even if they don't have a reason.
Even if the parent is wrong in that moment, because I've been wrong where my kids are being kids, but they already did something earlier that made me upset, so I misinterpret what they're doing.
Yeah, in general, I'm not going to tell you how to raise your kids, so I don't even care if you're just
stranger person. Fuck you!
Yeah, fuck you. They're not your kids. Fuck right off.
Like, I've had so many good laughs just like going through clothing aisles and like trying to pick clothing, and all of a sudden there's like little feet sticking out underneath. And like,
yeah.
You know what? That's fine. As long as their parent knows where they are, that's fine.
What about, this kind of goes along with what you said, people shopping from the aisle, but like people that don't know what they want when they get up to the counter, like if they're at the deli or at like a fast food, but they get up there and they're like, I guess I'll have a pound of ham. And it's like, bitch, there were like 4 people in front of you. You had plenty of time to figure this out. Yeah. Shit, you could have done this when you were home. You could have made a shopping list. You just decided to get here, and now you're going to take your fucking time to figure out what you actually need?
That is someone thinking with their stomach.
Yeah, which is a bad way to shop to begin with, as we fucking know. You don't want to go to a store fucking hungry.
Yep.
Because you're just going to buy a bunch of garbage. That's why I'm not allowed to shop, because I always go to a store and buy a bunch of garbage. I'm not allowed to buy anything. That drives me crazy. Yeah, that drives me nuts. Well, you know what? I guess this isn't a shopper thing. I hate when cashiers can't do basic math, but that's not really It's not really a shopper thing. That's the cashier.
But,
So.
and for me, I feel like there could be different levels. Like burnout is a fucking thing. Like
yeah, true.
When I worked as a cashier, I burn out. Like by like the last
your
2
brain
hours,
fog sets
I'm
in.
just like
you're like, what's 5 minus 4? I
like,
can't.
I don't.
No, I get that. Well,
And then I still have to be smiley and happy, so you can't tell that I'm dead inside.
On the other side of that, there's people that come up to the cashier and like fucking tell them how to do their job when they're trying to rig stuff up.
Those fucking people. Oh my god.
I experienced that all the fucking time. They're like, well, you're supposed to do this. This is supposed
and
to
it's
do this.
usually always some asshole who's a former manager of something. And they have to tell you that they used to manage this business.
I
why aren't you there anymore?
That's not the way to do it, okay? I mean, I worked in retail. That's not how you do it. Oh my god. Price check people? Maybe for me it's a different. All right, I guess there's a big difference when you're in a grocery store and that bag of potatoes is $2 more than you were expecting it to be.
Yeah. But
I mean, I worked in a music store, so somebody that comes up with a fucking CD and it's $20 and they go, this is supposed to be on sale for $17.99. I'm like, well, it's not on sale anymore. The computer's not ringing up on sale. Well, I saw a sign that said it was, and then I got fucking
because the fucking
check the
because
sign.
somebody didn't clear the sign,
right?
And the sign has the date of when the sale is.
Has the fucking date on it, so it's not like it's not clear, but the policy was always, well, if the sign's out. But now I gotta fucking some people behind you gotta wait 5 minutes while I get somebody to go and check and
now
make
we're just
sure
gonna
that
stand.
the sign's out.
And now we're gonna stand here staring at each other
because you wanted to save $5 on your fucking CD, dude. It's not on sale anymore. Yep. It's not on sale. The computers bringing it up, not on sale. Even if the computer's wrong and it fucked up, do you need the CD this bad? You're gonna wait fucking 10 minutes for me to check somebody or to get somebody to check on it? Is it really worth it to you? Oh, that used to drive me crazy. It used to drive me crazy when I'd get called up for the price checks, too. Because they come up, be like, she's saying the CD's $14 and it's ringing up $18. Okay.
Yeah, she is.
Why?
She is saying.
I saw a sign. Where did you see the sign? I don't know. It was somewhere over in the music section. All the CDs are in the fucking music section. Was it in the section for that? No, it was like on an end cap or something. So now I got to check all the fucking end caps to see if there's a sign somewhere that I can find.
Yep. You saw a sign, and now you're at my register, wasting my time.
Yeah, you should be Weird Al. That shit drove me nuts. I fucking hated those customers. Do you really need to save $5 on this fucking CD? Is it really that important? And always the people that would come in trying to return shit that was clearly used.
Clearly used.
Come in. I need to return this
the Super
printer.
Bowl. After the Super Bowl.
After the Super Bowl? You had that a lot?
At Best Buy. I didn't work for Best Buy specifically, but I worked for Samsung.
Right.
So
you were in there
I was,
as a retail
vendor
representative.
there.
Yep.
And after the Super Bowl, people kept coming back, returning TVs. Now,
mind you,
they didn't buy the TVs from the store from our store. They would buy them from another Best Buy and return them to this Best Buy.
Why?
So they don't get caught doing exactly that, because they buy the TV for the Super Bowl party,
right,
and then return.
So that is a real. I've always heard that, but I was always like, "That's bullshit." There's no way.
That is exactly.
But why do they bring him to a different store? Who cares?
Because they'll get refused.
Why would they get refused?
That's what they believe anyway.
Yeah, but why would they get refused at the store they bought it at versus another store? What difference does it make? You got a receipt that says when you bought it.
You're dealing with the same people.
So
I don't know. I don't know the reasons. I never questioned them.
But I don't get it. Anybody can look at the receipt and be like, okay, you bought this 2 days before the Super Bowl.
I've just seen them do it, and it's so many different people with the same fucking idea.
And there's nothing they could do about it too, I bet, right? The stores.
Nothing that could be done about it.
There's nothing they could do. Unless it's
they go in, they get damaged out, they get resold.
Well, they used to have open box policies where once
they do have open box. Well, that's what I'm saying. They get resold. They some of them get damaged out. Most of them are just open box.
But I mean, when you return something that was open, you could only get store credit. You couldn't get cash back.
Oh no,
that's not a thing anymore, is it?
I know when I was working there, cash back was a thing, but I think the policy changed when I switched over to a different store, because it depends on the stores too.
Right.
Because I know we had one manager who was just a piece of shit.
Yeah. And
she kowtowed to anybody that came in. So we had I think I've told the story.
Yeah, we had that too. I've told the story on the podcast. So
yeah, I think I've told the story of the crackhead that wanted to return her phone that she broke.
Yes, you did.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
Like that, she did that for the TVs too.
I mean,
but you can't do anything anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I remember people coming in with broke it. Like they come buy an Xbox, and then the next day come in and be like, "Oh, it's broken." Try to return it, and I check the serial number, and it was a different Xbox because they just broke theirs. And they try to bring it back. I'd have people come in with like a printer and be like, "Oh, the printer doesn't work. I need to return it." And they didn't have receipt, and I'd look at it and be like, "This shit is beat to hell." And then I'd look at the model and be like, "Yeah, this model is like 5 years old." Like, sorry, no, you're not getting anything for it.
This is specifically
get in a fucking fight with them.
This is a specifically complaint to people for Geek Squad and other computer repair places. Don't be filthy. Just stop being fucking filthy.
Like dirty filthy?
Like fucking gross filthy. Because we had to vacate and fumigate Best Buy because a guy had bed bugs in his computer tower.
That's fucking disgusting.
They took it apart, and I know the guy who did it because I went to elementary school with him.
And they all came crawling out.
We were there, and he was like,
itchy.
First of all, I saw the guy, and he was not well, just not a well man.
Yeah.
But I don't think mentally unwell, just gross.
Yeah.
Like he was sitting on the he was sitting on the Apple table, and his ass crack was hanging out.
Ass juice on the Apple table.
Yeah. Oh, they fumigated that too. It was hilarious.
Bet.
But they went in and the guy, like, we heard like screams, like it was a fire.
I would scream.
And then
disgusting.
they moved everybody. Like they tried to quietly move everybody after the initial scream because the scream was in the back area where the Geek Squad do the work. And it's like, fuck. And you see him run off into the bathroom. And then, like, I think one guy went out. He went to Target to get... No, he didn't go to Target.
I wish you could see my face right now.
He went to, like, Home Depot or something and got hazmat... Like, not hazmat suits, but, like, beekeeper-like suits.
Yeah, yep.
And he was, like... And got bags, like, to put the clothes in. I don't know
that would help with bed bugs. They're pretty small.
I don't know either, but the guy that initially dealt with the thing, he was wearing the suit. I don't think he was wearing anything underneath because his clothes were in a bag.
I think you put that on there. You're supposed to put that on over your clothes, bud.
He put his clothes in the bag. No, he didn't have extra clothes. He was wearing his uniform.
Oh, okay.
Because Geek Squad have to wear the white button-up with the black pants. He didn't have extra clothes. He didn't want to go into his car.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So he took all his clothes off, and I think he was just wearing his socks. Maybe his underwear. But he was in the suit. He had his clothes in the bag. And he was just pissed. Like, he was so pissed off.
Can you blame him?
And no!
Fuck
I
you,
was
dude.
in the middle of the store. I could see what was happening.
Fuck you asshole. Bring your fucking dirty ass, filthy bedbug-ridden shit into my store.
Oh my god. They
so
tore up
gross.
the carpeting because it had carpeting. They had to tear up the carpeting. Geek Squad was closed for over 2 weeks.
I'm gonna be itchy for the rest of the day
after
hearing this disgusting fucking story.
Fucking awful. They closed. I think the fire department showed up initially
for bed bugs. Look at the fire department there.
The fire department.
I mean, I guess you're like, I don't know what to call.
I think because they were afraid it might have gotten into the electricity. And,
that's fucked.
And the electricity was also bad in this Best Buy.
What'd they tell the dude?
Because the fire department was there like 3 times already that year.
Oh god! What did they tell him after that?
I don't know what they told the guy. I
like,
don't know exactly
your
what happened
tablet's
with him.
fucking gone.
But I know, according to the friend of mine who is the one that was the one who opened it.
Yeah.
He's just like I know that I refuse service. He's just like I refuse to do shit. That was fucking disgusting.
Like refuse to do anything ever again?
Anything for that. He's back at he's back at Geek Squad now.
Wait. They were still going to try to service the tablet?
Yeah, well, the tower, computer tower.
I mean, they were going to try to service it?
Initially.
Oh, I would have been like, I would have put it in a bag and thrown it outside and been like, come get your shit.
And get
it's
out.
in a bag outside. You fucking cunt.
Because
I've used the word cunt a lot in this episode. I'm sorry.
I use the word retarded a lot. I feel bad kind of using it.
Well, you know why? Because I've been reading, I just finished this book. I'm gonna give it a plug because it was so good. It's called Everyone You Hate Will Die. Did I mention that before?
No, but that sounds like a book you would like.
Yeah, it's a book called Everyone You Hate Will Die by Daniel Sloss. It is a fantastic book. If you like, if you're, for the faint of heart, if you're not into, really transgressive type humor.
Not really.
And I was gonna actually try to pull
not really bothered by it.
No, clearly I'm not because it's basically my thing. I wanted to actually, I was going to read the beginning of the review I left because it sums it up well. If you appreciate irreverent, vulgar, dark, and derogatory humor, go read this book now. Don't read any more of this, just do it. You'll thank me later. If you're still reading this means you don't like that kind of humor. If that's the case, don't read this book. That's basically what it comes down to. It's just a guy going through, it's like, I guess, sort of put out there as like a self-help advice type book, but it's not. It's just comedy. But he just talks about relationships with different types, like your friends. I think there's one on your genitalia, your spouse, love, and he's just like, it's just so perfect. Like, it's just, I feel like I wrote it. Like, everything he says is just, but he's, I think he's Scottish. How could I mess that up? He's Scottish.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah, he's Scottish. So I listened to it. So he read it all in his accent, but he says cunt a lot. So I guess it's just in my head because he's, no, you're fucking cunt. And there's a whole chapter where he's like, if you're offended by me saying cunt, in Scotland, the word cunt is just, there's good cunts and there's bad cunts. But it's not negotiable that you're a cunt. It's a great book. Great fucking book.
For
so
me,
funny.
like, in countries that use the word cunt, for me, is just like the word nigga. Like, it's just...
I guess so, yeah.
It's just, that's how it's used. It's
you're
the
right.
exact same way.
You're absolutely right. But it's so good. The book's so good. And you know what I really, really liked about it? He touts in the beginning of the book that people had seen his special, his stand-up special, one of his specials, and like 120,000 couples broke up after seeing it, and like 375 engagements were broken off, and like 100 married people got divorced, something like that. But he's basically like, people who have seen my stand-up and heard, it's the same line of thought, the book, have realized they're in bad relationships and got out of them. And it really made me happy to go through the whole book and hear him say all this shit. And everything he was saying about positive relationships versus negative was true in my relationship. And I was just, it felt, not that I know that. I know I have a healthy, good relationship and I love my wife to death. But hearing all these stories about, like, people, just for an example, he's talking about, if you're on, and again, I'm going to butcher the delivery. He's very eloquent and delivers it in a nice way. But the gist was, if you're online constantly posting about how much you love your partner and all the great stuff you do together and, oh my God, my honey, you don't fucking actually have a good relationship. You're putting out there online to make people think you have a good relationship. If you have a good relationship, you don't fucking go talk about it on your social media pages. Yeah. You enjoy it. And I was like, fucking spot on. That's big spot on. I don't feel the need to go on social media and post about how much I love. Maybe it's because she's not on social media partially. Yeah. But even so, I don't feel the need to go on and post about how much honestly, I love my wife. Oh my God, I'm so happy. My wife's so great.
I feel like most relationships, if you can speak openly and freely in that relationship, sure, it's going to be a successful relationship.
That's a exactly big part, I think, of what he talks about too, is, being able to be, that goes without saying, good communication, but openness and honesty and not feeling like you need to,
like to appease them or not hurt their feelings or anything like that. But like, that's something I'm personally learning. So
such a good fucking book. It was so funny. So fucking funny. I was laughing my balls off listening to it.
Okay, I might look it up.
It's short. It was only like 7 hours. I mean, I can send it to you if you want.
Okay.
I have the ebook, and then I'm sure I could find the audiobook. I took it out of the library, but I could find it for you. It was so funny. And you really got to listen to it because you got to hear him saying everything with his accent.
I'm going to look him up after the show.
So good. Great fucking book. 5 stars. Absolutely recommend it. Anyway, I don't know why I came up with that little segue. I don't even know why that showed up on my radar.
No. I think we've bitched a lot about. This is probably the most in-depth we went with.
Our topic? Yeah. Topic. I mean, we've been on the topic for like over 45 minutes. So yeah, usually we don't spend this much time on the topic, and we're coming in at almost 2 hours already.
Jeez.
Of recording time. So no, we didn't last week, so this gives us, we're just catching up a little bit.
We're always playing catch up.
But that's okay. I think we do a pretty good job getting one out every at least 2 weeks. So we do okay. We should probably have a more regular schedule, and even if we just said it was every 2 weeks. But I don't want to do that. I want to be able to just like record. If we want to have one every week for 2 weeks in a row, like I want to be able to just do that.
Yeah.
And then if we skip a week, fine. So I don't want to just say it's going to be every 2 weeks, even though that might make people more likely to pay attention when they know that there's going to be one out every certain time. But yeah, boy, there's a lot of ways shoppers can be fucking assholes.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to chat about? Bring up?
I don't have much in mind right now. I think I've reached burnout.
You burned yourself out.
I think
complaining.
I'm at my last 2 hours of retail shift. I don't have anything else in me.
Yeah, everything went through my head, and I brought back some dark memories of people
Yeah,
being assholes.
you unlocked memories that I forgot that I had.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's good. It's good for the soul.
Is it?
No, maybe not. Well, okay. I guess this is the podcast, folks. Do us a favor, and we still have listener mail that I keep forgetting about.
Then we need to do it.
Next episode, we will
Stop.
100%...
You keep doing that.
All right. Next episode, we will for sure.
The first thing we do. We're not even going to go into
The
topics.
first thing we do is going to be we're gonna do listener mail. I know we got at least one email because Aaron wrote in. Aaron also sent us a donation, so
Really?
thank you so much.
Thank
Aaron,
you,
we
Aaron.
appreciate that. We're not actively looking at it for him yet because we know we got to provide more entertainment to you guys. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. We've done 30 episodes. We've been doing it for a while, so I guess we've been doing a decent job.
Yeah, but I mean, we have to. I know what you mean. We need to be
You know what I
more
mean.
proactive about this.
Yes, yeah, but we really appreciate it. So thank you, Aaron. Really generous of you, guys. Send us an email because we just said we're going to start the next episode with an email set, an email bit, an email segment. I think segment's the word I
Segment's
meant.
what you
And my
meant.
head abbreviated it to set for some reason.
Well, you were thinking about probably comedy sets or comedy. That's why you
I
said
guess.
bit next.
I don't know. I think my brain's just a little broken today. So you can email us at podcast@atiwihy.com or you can just go to atiwihy.com.
atiwihy.com.
And send us an email through the contact form. Or if you want to make it more fun, you can leave us a voicemail and we'll just play it live on the show, which I think is fun. And that number is 929-564-4262. So you can leave us a voicemail and we'll play it on the air if you have anything to contribute about the current topic, about anything going on in the world, anything you want to complain about. Doesn't have to be related to anything else. If you got something on your mind and you want to bitch,
Yeah.
send us a voicemail. But that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. That's what Matty D always says at the end of Ice Cream Social. I like that. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
Take care of yourselves.